Good morning, traders. Are you guys ready for an action-packed open here, guys? We're about to get CPI to come in 8:30, about to hit here. We'll be paying attention to the market. If you see the market moving fast right now, you'll know why. Let's see if we can get a trade in, talk all about it. There's the first spike in the SPY up there to 563. Let's take a look at the action. Normally, I'd hit the intro, but we're going to skip the intro. We're going right to the stock market action today. Let's take a look right now. The SPY getting a nice little lift. I will take a look for the numbers. Like always, guys, smash the like. Let's get to the action today. SPY moving fast, and you guys see it. I'm in the green this morning, was trading pre-market, trying to take some trades. SPY already making the lift there towards 563. And a big part of this is taking a look to see what happens on the stock like AMD. Look at the rip on AMD now to 185 and continuing. Tesla, what's up with that? Right back up towards the highs there. Google, will this give it to 200 run? Hey, could. You never know, right? And Amazon's been trying to get through that 200. Did we get through it this morning on that pop? You can see it there. Right back over that 200. Let's pay attention to the CPI number here. I'll take a look at it right now, guys, and let you guys know what I'm seeing come in. We're taking a look to see what happens in CPI over year is especially important. Month over month levels here coming in at 0.1 versus a 0.2 estimate. You guys see it here coming from Benzinga. 0.1 versus a 0.2 estimate, so a little bit down there. That's actually a good news. That's why we saw that initial first spike. Still looking for the year-over-year number. Not seeing that. Here we go. The year-over-year at 3% versus a 3.1% estimate. So below the estimate, that's all good news here. Jobless claims coming in at 222,000 versus 236. So initial jobless claims coming down. That's all good signs here. Month over month here, June at -1. If we look at the month over month look here, everything positive here in the CPI. That's actually helping the action right now. Now the only question is, can the stock market just continue rising with this? You guys see it. SPY up there to 563. Big rip up there towards the 563. This is going to help other stocks move also. This morning, I was trading the fast mover in CNSP. Let's see if that one starts to come back. I got stopped out on that one earlier, but I was able to make a good trade on KZIA, another kind of penny name, now back above the $1. Was able to take this one from below 80 cents up there close to the 90s. So it wasn't a bad trade at all. Maybe could have held there towards the $1. This is just one that's on the radar today. Keeping a look at the tech names to see how those kind of keep rising here. AMD with a big push, right? We can continue to watch to see what happens on maybe an Intel. Everything getting a nice little lift here. SMCI was one that I was looking at yesterday. Was trying to maybe take a shot here and take a smaller position at the 880s. Now look at it, 917, guys. This looks like it's ready to get going back towards the 1,000. Definitely one of the top plays to watch for me right now is this SMCI. With this news, of course, CPI just ripping it. Now it gets away from that 900 and you feel like you're chasing, right? Now you feel like you're chasing on the hourly pullbacks that we got yesterday, right off the support, right? So you went right off that hourly. You got an attempt to get it near that 880s. Now it's back up there to 914. Even let's say you get 5 shares there. What are you talking about? You're talking about 35 points. So, hey, you don't need crazy sizing for SMCI. Big move there in this move here. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there? Boogie Woogie, Eric. Let's get to the action. Let's see what we can find this morning. There's a lot of action going on and not as much people in here this morning as usual. What's going on, guys? Where's everybody at? Everybody needs to wake up, man. All right, let's keep taking a look. Let's see what we can trade this morning. We'll take a look into the sunrise report and the playbook. That's going to be coming up, but I'm going to push it back a little bit here because the market action, of course, is going to be kind of moving all around here. Let's go see what we can find. Maybe we can find a trade off of this. The Qs overall up there to 504. Remember, we were seeing yesterday, we were fighting that 500. A lot of people were thinking maybe the CPI report is one of the areas that starts to turn around. And boy, oh boy, has July been hot. We've talked about it, how it could be, especially the first week of July, one of the hottest times, right? And a lot of times the NASDAQ this is kind of the weakest point in the NASDAQ. So of course, we've been taking a look at the July almanac here, and you guys can see it here. This is from, of course, Jeffrey Hirsch. And then you guys got to check this out, guys. I definitely think it's something that you should definitely have. It gives you guys great statistics to look forward. And of course, huge gains in July usually provides better buying opportunities over the next 4 months. So that's one thing that I'll definitely note there. And we'll see. I mean, this is not bad at all, guys. Doing really well on the action right now. July is the best month of the third quarter. Starts the second half and brings inflow of retirement funds. And that's what I think we're seeing today, right? You're normally tardy, Eric says. No, we're not starting that trend, Eric. I've been pushing a little bit towards the open there and towards the start of the show because I'm trying to work on the new graphics. They're coming soon, guys. I've been working on them. I got a lot of things to add that I'm going to be bringing to you guys Monday, 1000% going live with it right here. You guys check it out, guys. Going to make a big step up into production. Of course, you guys know me. I run everything, right? I run the background. I run everything for you guys. Check it out, guys. I mean, I'm going to be adding a whole bunch, guys. We'll be also adding some more screens and things like that, scanners. Hey, I'm trying to bring it all, and that's just for you guys out there. Smash the like. Let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look at the action here as the Qs still holding in that strength on the first move, right? You can see it was a big pop. We went back towards that high. Would we start to fade all this action now? We'll see what happens. But right now, hot market indeed. Going to take a look at the kind of first, let's go towards the playbook, right? This is where we take a look at what stocks are making a move this morning. We were having some great action this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and just take a look what I had on the playbook to see how it's reacted, because of course it's probably already reacted off of this, right? There was one stock this morning that I was trying to take a bigger position in, and I just kind of froze up, which was QS. QuantumScape had news this morning, right? It was getting a nice little boost, and it was right underneath $6, right? It was around the 580s, 590s, and it did dip down. I had an order out there at 580s. It dipped down to 590s, came back, ripped through 6, and went all the way up there towards 798. So this one I'm going to continue to watch, and I think we can watch some sympathy plays off of QuantumScape. And of course, QuantumScape was making a move after announcing an agreement with PowerCo to industrialize solid-state batteries, right? SSBs, right? Solid state is what is talked about it being the next step up in battery plays, and that's going to change lithium overall in the long run. If we could really get solid state batteries, those are going to be your batteries that can get you that, like let's say the 500-mile range, and could really take away that range anxiety that they talk about, right? Well, QuantumScape getting a nice lift this morning, getting up there towards 8. We'll see if this continues to run, but take a look at the daily chart. Already a big spike here in QuantumScape. Can look for some pullbacks to maybe get you that nice little lift on maybe like a day 2. Right now, I'm not sure that we can get back towards the 8, but hey, we'll see how this reacts this morning. Definitely a little bit of a hesitation move there. And I mean, it was about 10 cents off there. So 10 cents fill there would have got me a monster winner. Just got to keep trying to play some of these morning moves. The key with this one, though, and how we can learn to maybe play this in the pre-market, right, is the big part there is paying attention to what? Paying attention that it had news, right? It was already up to 6 by the time I saw it, which was up about 9%. But the news was really positive. A great partnership that gave it the ability to get the big lift. QuantumScape, big push. Now, what I'm going to be watching is not necessarily QuantumScape, but maybe some players off of this, right? So Freyr Battery is one to kind of keep a watch today, guys, because this is not something that I'm saying is like a monster help to this company. But when you start to get moves like this in the space, you could get some sympathy play, right? So this is what I'll be watching. Does this go back over the 172 mark, making its way back here to say $192? It definitely could. And there's one player here, or whatever happened there, there's 16.9 million shares that were traded at the kind of like the 170 to 162 mark. If we can clear that, that could have been a buyer. And next thing you know, you're having a nice little push back. So not a bad one to keep a watch on. Freyr, big push. We'll see if this one can get going. This is just one that I'm just putting on the radar today. We'll see what happens there. And of course, I've been long gold plays and different plays there. We can continue to watch to see what happens there. But let's take a look here at gold. Gold GOLD getting a nice little lift there towards the 1818. We were looking at this yesterday to see if it would continue the push, and it did definitely. You had the nice little pullback 2 days ago around the 1750s. Now really starting to get going up there towards 1815, 1820s. And I put this out earlier. I didn't see this $18 break. So that's what I was looking for earlier. It's already making the move. That's where it's going to be a little bit difficult to see what happens here if it can keep pushing towards the next level. But next layer that I have here would be a layer touched towards kind of this 1811 starting to hold. And then from there, we got 1830s. And 19 into play. So 1830s, you can see we're right underneath that. That's going to be the next resistance. And then I'll be looking to see if we hold pullbacks to 18. And gold is not the only play. I can take a look there at different plays in gold, like NEM is one that I put on the radar earlier in the week, and that was on a pullback. Now really just starting to take off. So NEM has a nice like inverse head and shoulders pattern that I think is important to kind of note here on the daily. You guys can see it here. I'll show you guys it. We were looking at this. We even drew the line. We created this on the 5th. Now we're starting to break above this. So really strong move here in gold. I keep a watch to see what happens on New Mount Corporation, but also in silver. We talked about this yesterday. I made the trade and I was looking for what? A move to 670s going towards 7. Yesterday, I was able to make a good trade on this. Didn't make an insane trade because it did stop me out on the rest of my shares. But you see it this morning up there to 670s and continuing the daily trend. So I could still see this coming into play and making a move back into this spot up there towards the 750s. This is exactly what we were looking at yesterday. We'll see if this can continue to run on AG. And for that play, you can take a look at different kind of silver plays. Also, you can look at MAG, silver, nice little move there towards 1375s. I'd look for slight dips below 13 to get the push to 14, but doesn't look too bad there on MAG. Good morning, traders out there. Smash the like, guys. We'll keep going. We'll take a look at some other action today. And let's take a look here. Short banks. Now, this is an idea that's a little bit different, guys. So this is what I'm thinking about because financial services have really kind of ripped off as of late and have made a big move on the daily. I'm not talking about specifically shorting them today. I want to put it on the radar because I think that what you're going to see is potentially these stocks make kind of a blow off top today. So big drive up and at the end of the day, start to pull back. So near the end of the day, I'd be looking at these for potential swing trades. Of course, there's big earnings that's going to be coming tomorrow that will shake things up. You'll get the big boys to report, and that's going to turn things, each way, right? It's going to, one can report a good bank or earnings, one could report a bad earnings and turn things around. Citi, we'll be talking about in a second here, but this is kind of one that reports late. And that's one thing that I'll put on the radar, guys, is that when stocks report late, that could shake things up. Citi, a lot of the times, has put a shake in the market. There's been like kind of, let's say, bad reports. It's down. Citi comes out with a great report and the stocks rip up. Or it's good reports. Citi comes out with bad report and boom, they knock it down. It usually has a tendency of getting closer towards the bell. So keep that on watch. We'll see what happens there on Citi. And of course, we've talked about it. SMCI going to be one of the top watch. That's been one that was mentioned on the playbook earlier this week for a run for 900, and that was on Monday. Now we're coming back towards those highs, 926. This could eventually make a run to 1,000. We'll see what happens there in SMCI. Not a bad outlook. Definitely keep a watch on to see what happens in the market today. We're going to get now over to the Sunrise Report where we talk about the stocks that are moving and what's out there. I see a lot of talk in the chat there. Let's say hello to some of the traders. Amir, Noli taking a look out there. Microvast talking about a SPAC there. Bullseye getting after it. Back on the live action today. $100 cushion. Hey, can't get bad. I got the same $100 cushion. I got 119 down here. Let's get after it, Bullseye. Let's use that cushion and let's be smart. Future day trader billionaire, good morning to you, my friend. It's good to see you out there trading on a little bit of the action out here this morning with a penny name, guys. This KZIA was one that definitely got me a nice little reward this morning. It was a tough trade. I'll tell you what, guys, the only way I was able to stay in it was staying with the 15-minute chart. So the 15-minute chart looked really good on this pullback here. Back when it was at the 75, was looking for the push. As soon as I got this push into the 90s, back just slightly below the 90, was able to take the profits on that one. We'll see if this one can keep running this morning. KZIA. Eric, Boogie Woogie, what's up out there, guys? If you're new to the show, for some reason you're tuning in for the first time, or maybe tuning in on X, say hello, guys. Smash the like. Let me know what you guys are looking at. It's always good to see you guys out there. And we're going to go over now to the sunrise report of things, where we take a look at the action and the stocks that are moving, right? Of course, that's what we want to be watching here. Let's start off with, of course, we got to take a look at some POW conversations that have been going on. So for some more POW Fed talk, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the SPY to see at the action. And I think this is also helping the SPY action, exactly what was said here by Jerome. And a lot of people out there, right? A lot of people out there kind of slamming the horn, right? Telling you guys out there, yes, the cuts are coming, the cuts are coming. And that's kind of what Jerome Powell said here also. Let's talk a little bit about it. So first up, let's talk about that recent testimony, right? So Powell laid out the groundwork for potential rate cuts during his congressional testimony this week. He highlighted that a cooling labor market means a key source of inflationary pressure has diminished. This could be big news for the market as investors keep a close eye on inflation and the trends in the Fed policy. Everyone's watching to see what happens. Will they cut? Of course, today's focus was the CPI report. And I think that was important to focus on, because the truth is this is what Jerome's talking about. This is what he's focused on, right? So the projections here were for a rise of 3.1% year over year. We saw that it came in at 3%. And that just goes to show us that, hey, now we're continuing to see this inflation come down, but it's slowing down also. It's not coming down fast. And one thing that is said by Jerome plenty of times, are we on a sustained outlook towards 2%? I think we are, but the only question is how fast. And this still leaves room, I think, for Jerome to just say, hey, I'm staying on the sidelines. I'm going to let things work. And I will see when things get closer to that 2%, that everything points in the right direction. Then I can start to cut. That's not exactly what came from his testimony. He's still leaving it open. And what did he do to begin this rally? Well, he started the bull market really when he mentioned potential pivots that saved the recession that could have came at the beginning of the year. At least that's what I feel like he did. He did this kind of speak. I'm just going to talk about cutting, and then the market will go up. Same thing here. I'm going to talk about cutting, and the market will continue going higher. And if that can happen, well, guess what? The market will keep buying the kind of the fake cut here until it actually does cut. That's something to take a look at. And when that cut happens, how will the market react? Will it just continue to rise and rise? Well, that's one thing that a lot of investors out there are kind of focusing on. And you see the money managers and all the talking heads, they're thinking that we do get the cut. And that's what pushes the market to continue going for the rest of the year. But all right, guys, that's enough of that action. Let's go ahead. Let's talk a little bit more about the stock market action and what moves are making today and why they're moving, right? First up, guys, let's talk about Delta, as we got a little bit of an emergency landing here in Delta Airlines today, as Delta reported a record revenue for Q2, but income fell here 30%. So despite a booming summer travel, higher costs and increased industry capacity have driven down the fares here. Delta's Q3 revenue forecast fell short of analyst estimates, predicting EPS between $1.70 to $2, which was way below the 2.05 expectation. So that's what we got to be taking a watch on here with Delta. You can see it's down there to 42.65. Who was talking about the airlines coming down? UAL was one that I was looking at. And the big part why was because American had given us the alert, right? That things were not looking good in this space, and they weren't looking to turn around anytime soon. And I think that moments like that, as traders, we got to catch, because they're essentially giving you the industry outlook. And UAL and DAL were near the top, right? They were near up here when this actually started to happen. So with that mentioned, you can see how it's come down, and now this comes in for UAL and Delta right back down to the $42 spot. And I was trying to short this. I played it multiple times on the day trade action. And this just goes to show me, for a move like this that doesn't move fast, right? It didn't move fast. It was kind of a stair step move down. The swing trade might have been the better approach, where I was getting an entry, giving myself $1 or $2 risk, and then letting the stock continue to work. That could have brought in about $8 on the positive side. So 2 risk, $8. That's not a bad 4-to-1 outlook, right? So we'll see what happens here in Delta, in UAL, and also Love is one that I'd put on the alert for another down move to come in here. Maybe comes back towards the 22. Airlines not looking good here, and that's not good signs, right? That's not a good sign at all for the consumer, and this could affect maybe Boeing to take another leg right back down, because if the airlines are doing bad, they're probably not going to want to buy as many planes from Boeing moving forward. That's just me using the information here to think about it in more of a trading strategy. But like always, guys, smash the like. I see a lot of you guys now joining in. What's up out there? Good morning to you guys. Put the pinkies out. Let's get ready for the market. Just tell me your top play in the stock market today. I'll tell you mine. Let's keep it going, team. All right, let's go to the next one here. And Noli, you're talking about it in the chat. I want to hear everybody's mention here. What's going on, guys? Let's get after the action. What platform do you use? Ooh, I'll tell you what. You're on the Twitter action, and you're on X. You want to come over to find out what platform I use? Come over to the YouTube side. If you ask the question on YouTube, I'll give you my exact platform that I'm using for my charting service here. Check it out. All right, let's keep going. There's barely anyone that actually makes comments on Twitter, so I'm actually excited to see you out there. If you just stay on Twitter, don't worry. I'll let you know. But hey, if you want to come and have conversations, definitely YouTube is probably going to be the top place where we can converse back and forth. Let's keep going. Let's take a look here at the next action. We're going to go to Pepsi. Yes, we're going to Pepsi. But my question in the chat here is, are you a Pepsi or Coke fan? Let me know, guys. Which one are you guys a fanatic? Well, you guys see it this morning. I hope it isn't Pepsi, as Pepsi coming in here and reporting mixed report, not looking great this morning, definitely taking a hit and declining here. North American demand for drinks and snacks. They now expect 4% of organic revenue growth for the year, down from at least 4%. But maintaining 8% earnings growth forecast. Q2 results showed an EPS of $2.28 adjusted cents, and beating the $2.16 that was the expected amount here. So definitely it was a little bit of a mix. The revenues are still slightly lower, though, at coming in at an expectation slightly below the $22.5 billion outlook here. So for PepsiCo, I think this is just going to show you guys that the defensive area especially is starting to take a hit. We've talked about this before. You can see how defensives have started to pull back. They haven't broken this red line, which is going to be important. But if we take a look at different actions in here, you can see how things have started to turn around. The packaged foods have really started to come right back down. The soft drinks have really come back down. The confectioners have come right back down. So these are the names that are really taking beatings and could keep dropping here. Let's go household personal products. Of course, we had the Helen report that was horrible and still down. So that just tells me more and more we got to be careful in the defensive space. All right, let's keep going, guys. He's using Trader Evolution. No, he's not. I'm not using Trader Evolution here, guys. I'm using TC2000. You don't even know this one, Bullseye. This is for the old school guys, and you'll see a lot of older gentlemen using TC2000 because it's been around for forever. But what I like to use it's a paid charting service. And the big thing for me is I'm able to tell you guys a lot of the action in the market just based on this one page. That's good enough for me. All right, guys, let's keep going, guys. We'll take a look at the next action here. Let's go to Pfizer. Pfizer moving this morning as the weight loss drug continues. And Pfizer announced today that they will continue developing the once a daily version of its weight loss pill. And I'm not even going to try to say that name. But after encouraging data in the early stage trials, so studies on multiple doses were planned for later in the year, but they did not do well. So they're trying to stick to that once a day versus the 2 times a day. And that giving Pfizer a little bit of a lift this morning. You guys can see it. It was up there to 30-10, 30-20s. This is not a bad one to watch because the real key here is it's the turnaround on the daily. Did Pfizer finally bottom? I mean, hey, I don't think I'm going to be one to maybe call the bottom on this one, but I can tell you at least that the monthly chart is showing that you do have some consolidation and could break out of the consolidation and start a move, right? A move to 31 today could be that move, right? So we'll see what happens on the daily, especially through the kind of this 29-30 area. That's where you're going to struggle. So let's see if we can really push through 29.60s, 30.28s. Those are layers that I'll be watching on the upside, and we'll see if Pfizer can really get moving. Would you short DAL at the open, says Future Day Trade, and I'll take a moment from the Sunrise Report to take a look at that. So for me on Delta now, the biggest thing here is that you might get little bounces back. So if I'm shorting Delta, a lot of the times, what am I looking? I'm always looking for these kind of pullbacks back. So 50% from the recent cut down right now would be a move back here towards slightly below the 45. So we're talking up there towards like, let's say 44.80s. So move back into that spot. I can start to look for a short. I try my best to look for a kind of a pullback into this spot between the 50% retracement and also the 61.8, which is your golden mean. So somewhere in this area, I'd be looking for shorts. Now, if the stock just wants to go through the support right underneath it, and that's your approach, then yeah, you could maybe look for a 42 takedown and you're shorting off of that layer. I don't think that's a bad call either. The only thing is understanding that the resistance is up to 43.50s. So if you get short, let's say down here at the 42.18, you got to understand the stock could easily come back to that 43.50 spot. So that's just the way I'd look at it. And you said it right here. I would short 42. Yeah. So the dollar underneath, shorting that, maybe holding off of this 42.60 area. We'll see what happens. It's not a bad outlook. The key is you need to see a quick flush and you need to be kind of taking some good profits into the move. At least I would be looking to take that first little sweep down and then looking to see if it continues down because it's already gone down a significant amount. Is TC Silver good, says Bullseye? No, I mean, I use the gold. But it's up to you what you want to use on TC, right? I'm not going to tell you which one you have to use. The big thing is you'll get different scanners and you can do a lot of condition scanners. If you're a trader that likes to look for specific conditions, I think TC is one of the best, but you can also do this on TrendSpider. Eric, of course, one of our partners is TrendSpider. TrendSpider has just as much, right? And then TradingView is another option. There's so many options, guys. I'm not going to act like one is the perfect one. There's always benefits to having one service over the other. And I think the only thing you need to be thinking about is, does it support you as a trader? That's all that matters here. Day trade with Tony. I'll take a look at that Velcon stock going up there this morning, and we can take a look at different actions. Even Zap, right? Zap was one of the top short outlooks yesterday. It's back at $9, guys. What a trade this would have been if we would have been short this yesterday at the open. It's back down to $9. I mean, what a move, right? This had no business being up. We'll take a look at Velcon in just a second. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's go to Apple now. Apple in the news here, and it did have some decent news this morning, not negative. So let's take a look here at the action, and we're starting to see a little bit of a decline in the market. Take the look here. The SPY did go all the way up there to 563. We're right back to 561. So if you feel we're having a bullish day, this one might be an area where you're looking at pullbacks for opportunities, like the stock, like let's say SMCI that went all the way up there to 918, now back at 904. This is the area where you're thinking, okay, are we going to break down today or are we just going to catch some dip buyers? That's what we need to be considering right now. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's go to the Apple news here so I can give you guys that, and then we'll take a look at the trading action. I'm ready to trade, team. Smash the like and let me know that you guys are ready to trade with me. Let's see if we can get up there towards 40 likes today, guys. Smash it up. Let's get some traders in here. And do me the favor, guys. Hit the share button. There's not enough of you guys sharing this stream right now. And I'll tell you what, guys. I have some abilities sometimes. I have some extra. I know I got some good amounts, some credits there from the competition. I want to hook you guys up. I just need you guys to show me the love out there. Hit that share button. Let everybody know this is the stream you want to go, especially all you guys there out there on X. The more that you guys share this, the more I will be looking for a trader out there to reward. I'm not going to tell you exactly when, but the more you guys share, like our conversation, and share, of course, the playbook, the sunrise report, telling everybody what's going on in the market, that's going to give you the potential. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be working up to get a couple of packages so that it can help you guys out there and keep you guys pushing forward. Let's keep going, team. All right, guys, I'd love to see a bullseye. And if you guys could do me the favor, if you guys also share Trade the Pool and you guys want to include me on the tag me, guys. I'll retweet you. Hey, let's keep it going, guys. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there in the market today. Of course, Apple coming in with the conversation, and this is on tech news. Apple has caught the attention of the EU antitrust regulators who actually accepted the commitments from Apple to allow rivals access to its tap and go payment technology. So, of course, Apple Pay was getting hit in the EU, and it was concerns to see if it was going to get hit and kind of get taken away from Apple, right? Their ability to do it. And now you can see it here. It's not affecting the stock as much. It was a positive catalyst, but I think the overall market is just affecting it now. The SPY pulling back here, the CPI kind of coming in here. Did the CPI top the market? Did we just do a blow off top? There's all questions out there. 561 seems to be an important level here and really where we came from, right? So if you look here, the SPY kind of rocketed off this 560 80s. A breakdown below this kind of 560 53 is really the concern. That's when you start breaking the morning action and you could get back down, let's say 560 and start to break. The Qs overall, you see it coming back to 502, but it's not near the 500 yet. It's still ways away from there. We'll see what happens on the action. Citi is one that I'll put on the radar, as I talked about on the playbook, potential shorts. Citi is getting hit this morning. The banking giant has been fined $60.6 million by the Federal Reserve for violating a 2020 enforcement action related to the data quality management and risk controls. So definitely the Fed not happy the way that Citigroup is approaching this. They have time to mediate and fix this, and they did not fix it. So in the action here, they're getting fined. That shows concern for Citigroup. Maybe we see some more kind of holes get in this tomorrow. And next thing you know, the banks start to get hit. Last one is just an extra one that I caught here, guys, which was Costco. Costco getting a nice little move this morning. And this was all based on kind of raising the membership cost. And also B of A maintaining a buy rating and raising the price target to 962. So that's a big move there, guys. We'll see what happens in Costco if it can get through the 900 back up there. But big pullback today, even though it was up in the pre-market. You can see it here, 895. It's still kind of holding in there. Doesn't look too bad. If we look at the hourly, you can see you're pulling back here, still holding in from where you ripped out in the after hours, right around that 887. But we'll see if we can even get back to that 926. The market is dragging right now. And a lot of that is the SPY pulling back. And wouldn't you know it, we're getting a little bit of a bounce. There's definitely some buy the dippers out there trying to hold off to that 561. We'll see if we're able to hold it. All right, guys, I'd love to see it bullseye. And hey, great to share it, man. I appreciate you sharing the link. And that's what it's all about, man. Let's get some more traders out there. All right, Eric, what's up out there, man? Cool and calm as always. No trades until I understand what's going on. Then I want every swing throughout the day. Hey, That's what it's all about, man. And a lot of times, Eric, that can help you, right? Especially when you're not understanding, or there's a lot of mixed noise in the market, or maybe a lot of trappy action where you're going up from the top of the range to the bottom of the range. What does that mean? That means that no one has the advantage, right? That means the Bulls aren't winning right now. The Bears aren't winning. It's kind of a shake right now. Now, the only question is, which way do you go after it? That's the hard part, right? All right, team, let's take a look here at VLCN. Of course, Volcon was making a move after hours, and this morning got up there towards 775. This one's been a little bit of a beast, man. And the big thing is, this thing did a 1-for-100 split, guys. This has no business being up. But the truth is, I think this all has to do with sympathy, right? Tesla continuing higher, 165. At some point, Tesla is going to be probably getting us a nice little big red candle. And on those days, you got to be careful with those trades, because these types of trades, this Volcon and things like that, they're going to get just wrecked on a day like that. So can we still trade these? Yeah, we can still trade these. I mean, Nikola was making a nice move up there towards 12, right? This is another crappy one that I wouldn't expect to stick around. But the truth is that a lot of these did reverse splits right before this, which is essentially helping them get the push, but also telling me that it's probably going to come crashing back down. QS there. Let's take a look at this one, guys. Was watching this morning, was not able to get that 6 buy. Still a little bit kicking myself on that one, but we'll see what else is out there. Sound is another one, an AI play that was making a move there. Sound AI this morning was up there towards 590s, now has pulled back a decent amount even after the CPI, so giving us an opportunity here. But look at the rip that happened yesterday in Sound. It went from 420, pretty much 410, haha, pun intended, up there to 590s, almost $6. We'll see what happens on this SoundHound AI if it could really get going. Remember, this one was rocketing with AI, C3 AI, right? Well, maybe C3 AI coming into play again. Look at this, guys. Look at the weekly. This is actually coming into play. This is a chart that I wasn't even thinking about before. That now I got to put it on the radar, because it seems like it's trying to charge up here and get moving. The only question is, can it start to trade some share size and really get the lift? This is not a bad one to keep on the radar today. We'll see if it gets a move with SoundHound making the move. Can C3 AI also make the move? All right. Well, that just shows me that maybe AI plays are back into play. And what's one that we were looking at earlier in the week? We were looking at Tempest AI, because 4 banks went out there on the kind of the record and put buys on this Tempest, and they put it up there to 44s, up there towards, it was from 42, I think, to like 48 on the high end. So with that being said, Tempest AI plays out there. Keep your watch. We'll see what happens. The one that we were looking at yesterday that didn't move, right? GX AI. We'll see if this gets to pop today. Sometimes it's just like that, right? One doesn't move, and then all of a sudden the next one can get the pop. We'll see what happens if this does come back through the 277 today. It's down to the 230s. Nothing I'm looking at out the bell, but something that I'll definitely note. All right, guys, I see another one that's interesting. Open Door showing up there. So Zillow getting a lift today. Yeah, Zillow getting a nice little push there at 48. Trying to hold this pullback and make another move higher. This one actually doesn't look too bad. And if I'm looking at Zillow Group, I can also look for Rocket Mortgage to get the lift there. And this has been hanging out here. I remember when this was down there towards like $8. This has been hanging in. And you look at the weekly, we've made multiple attempts to run the 15 and failed. Is this going to be the attempt to actually clear the 15? We're at 14 right now, 1403s. This actually does not look bad at all today for a little bit of a run, especially if you can see Zillow making a lift, Open making a lift, those stocks like that. What's the other one? What's that other one? It's not Rocket. It's UWMC. UWMC. That's the name right there. This is another one that's very similar to Rocket that could get the lift too. So you guys can see the charts looking good. You're getting some volume in lately. And now let's see if it makes a little run. Not a bad one to watch. All right, guys, let's keep going out there. Let's keep taking a look at some other action out here. I can't looking around to see what's in the chat there. Walmart being mentioned in the chat. we can take a look at Walmart. Where do you see if it had a split? So a lot of times mine gives you like that 1 for 100 right on the screen. But a lot of times there'll be like some news on the bottom, and that will give you the news. So there'll be like something you can click on Thinkorswim. At least that's what I've seen in the past. Do you narrow your list before the open future day trade billionaire? I probably would, especially if I was trading by myself. But the big part with me is that, especially running the show, right? I keep a watch on the whole market, right? And that's hard within itself, right? If I really wanted to trade with just kind of a very limited amount of names, I'd probably stay within the top 3 sectors of that day for my day trading action, right? And then looking to stay within the strongest industry that day. So like specialty finance today, right? In finance services. That's why I'm looking at Rocket, looking at UWMC, right? So things like that is what I can use to try to get that next layer, because what I really would want to be is in the strong names that day, be long, right? The names that are big, weak that day, I'm short. That's the same way that the algorithms are trying to play it. And that's why I talk about so much about working backwards from sectors to industry to stocks. Because if you do that, what you're going to find is that there's sometimes specific industries or even a sector overall that's just lifting and it's rising all tides. And I'm sure you've heard this conversation in finance before, that you know that the tide can lift all the boats, right? And that's exactly what happens when you get this overall market breakout like we're getting right now. It can just lift everything. And you want to know when certain sectors are doing well, because then a certain industry can all of a sudden get hot and start to play catch up. That's why I pay attention so much to the sectors and the industry outlook. I think it's definitely important. And today's strategies for volatile markets, I don't think there could be any better here. We'll take a look at the action, guys, and definitely hit the like, guys. All right, let's get back to the market action. I can't log to the platform. Anyone else having this issue? Mike, no. I can tell you right now, I haven't heard anybody mention it this morning. So what I would say to do there is, of course, close everything down. Make sure it's closed. Go to your trader location on your website. Make sure that you're using the right login and password. If you change the password, maybe try to adjust that, maybe request a change, but definitely go to your traders area on tradethepool.com, get into the client area, right? The traders area, and make sure that you're using the right information for your trade, right? That's what's going to help you there. All right, guys, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there and moving today. Let's talk a little bit about this KZIA trade. Not a bad one there this morning for the $1 move. It was scary there for a second there. It was coming down, and I was in the red for a slight second at 75 cents. I had 2,000 shares of this morning. Wasn't that bad. Pop to 120. That would have made me an insane amount. I didn't hold to the 120 pop. I will say that, guys. I wanted to get out of this before 8 a.m., before I got that 8 a.m. print, but it wasn't a bad move at all. I'll show you guys this here and how the trade was made here. And Pfizer's one that I'm watching right now, guys. I just want to note Pfizer, definitely one that I'm watching right now off this 29 spot. Is it going to make the next move higher with the news that's out there right now? Is one that I'm just keeping a close eye on. Let's go to that KZIA. I want to bring up the chart so that you guys can see the trading action and how I went after this one. All right, KZIA. Let me go ahead and detach this so you guys can see it. You guys can take a look at the action this morning. This was a pretty decent one, guys. I think I played this one as good as I could, right? And I think that the important part sometimes is looking back at your action to see how you played it. This morning I came in, of course, around 6 a.m., started to look to see what was making moves. I saw this one back down at like 75, 80 cents. I looked at the hourly, and the hourly chart told me that, okay, so we have this kind of approach where the trend line's rising, and we're pulling back here towards this kind of 79, 80 area. So that was the area that really kind of stood out for me to look for pullbacks into the spot here. and then looking for that to play off of that 80 area. So then I went into the short time frames and I started looking at the 5, and I was looking for an attempt to get this to go back down below the 80s. It was up there towards the 86 as this stock pulled back here towards the 80s. I saw it go down. I saw it 80s, and I was like, okay, Mitch, don't overreact. See if you can get slightly lower, and then get a big size in versus a small size. And I went big. I went 1,000 right there at 78s when it was at 78s and 77 on the bid. Got that filled. Then I went after another 1,000 shares at the 80 after it pulled back from a push towards 85. And then I tried to load in there, got 2,000 shares. It started testing here down towards the 78. I was like, man, should I just cut out of this? And I was like, just wait, Mitch, just wait. You gotta ride it now. You're taking the trade. Then got that drive up there towards that 90 cents. Made sure I made the 10 cents to get the push above that, right? I was in at 79, made the 10 cents there, 89 cents there, sold the 2,000 shares. But really, I mean, it could have held it there and made a bigger gain there. But hey, at the end of the day, it was a great trade overall. Can't be mad. Got myself a cushion, even though you guys can see it here, took a loss on CNSP, took about what, like $50, $60 loss there on CNSP. So with that 190 still in the green, but it was a pretty good trade. Not bad. $190 to start the day. It wouldn't be a bad trade at all. So we'll see if this one can keep running today. I'll keep it on watch. I just wanted to show you guys how to play one maybe in the pre-market action. Wasn't too bad. All right, guys, let's keep going. Keep eyes on these two stocks, CMG and Nike. Okay, not bad ones to watch. I think Nike eventually comes back a little bit. Can't be wrong with that one. And then CMG, Chipotle, man, this has not done well since that stock split. They thought they would do well, and it's kind of ruining the chart a little bit here. But you're coming back here. What I would watch on CMG is monthly support to come into play. I think this one could get back here towards like 54 and then start to work its way back. We'll see what happens. For right now, I'm not touching CMG, but you guys get your Chipotle. I'll probably just go to the actual store and get my guac there. All right, let's keep going, team. We'll see what else is out there. EMPH up 5% in the pre. Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap fill here that it could go after here, which to move towards like kind of 118. If EMPH is doing well, I'd look at First Solar because I trust that one a little bit more. And that's already getting a nice little lift this morning. So we'll look to see. Maybe solar gets hot. There's been a lot of these smaller solar plays. Guys, be careful with these guys. There's a lot of these out there. CEO. There's a couple other ones that I've been seeing lately come out. So there's a lot of these kind of smaller solar plays that, to tell you the truth, I probably never heard of these, but they've been making moves, right? Maxen's been in the news a lot, guys. A lot of traders been watching this thing. Look at the amount of volume that's been in Maxen. It's a crazy amount of volume, guys. And this stock hasn't moved, what, 10 cents in the last couple of days? So that just goes to show me somebody's looking into solar. The only question is, can these stocks get moving? We'll see what happens today. All right, we'll see what happens on that one. KZIA holding in that $1. We'll see if it can keep pushing. I can see the splits in trade ideas. Yeah, trade ideas will have those splits for you, for sure. Let's keep looking at the other action here. CNSP. This is one that I lost on, guys. Was looking for the push back here, and it still doesn't look bad. Take a look at this, guys. On the hourly, it's still not looking bad, guys. Off of this 125 area for the push back towards 180. Actually, it really doesn't look bad here. 15-minute chart, you can see it, guys. I had a spike here this morning. Was watching this one as we saw another one make a move that was very similar to this one, Life Sciences yesterday. So this one regained kind of their regulatory, their trading right on the NASDAQ, I believe. Let me just make sure it was NASDAQ. I don't want to tell you guys the wrong information there. CNSP, I'm just getting the news, give you guys the specific. So it regained compliance here, and it was with the NASDAQ. I was right. Okay. Here you guys see it. CNS Pharmaceuticals received the letters from the NASDAQ notifying it had regained compliance. And yesterday we had a similar stock that made a big move up also. So we'll see what happens there. Now taking a look at to see some other stocks that are making a move this morning. MSTR announced a split that's actually helping it this morning get a nice push. So this could actually help this trade in Mara get a nice push, right? Mara's up there to 1955, even though Bitcoin didn't make a move, but MSTR made a move and announced a split. That actually helped the trade there. I'll take a look at Bitcoin price overall. You got a spike there towards 59 this morning or yesterday. So keep your watch to see what happens with that. Can you get back into the 60,000? And these stocks could fly right back to the upside. So this morning, of course, CleanSpark looked ugly to the downside. And now with this news in MSTR, you're getting a nice little spike in CleanSpark, which could have some shorts on the run, which could happen at the bell and could give it a little bit of a spike. So, hey, always trying to give you guys different plays. MSTR definitely showing up on my scanners here. So I want to let you guys know. And a lot of times I use the movers tool on Benzinga. So shout out to Benzinga. Definitely can use that to find a lot of the trades that are moving out there. Run making a move there. So definitely solar plays in play, guys. Keep the solar plays on watch. We'll see what happens to these. Affirm now finally getting a little bit of a push. I'm not touching this thing, man. Forget you, Affirm. You did me wrong plenty of times. Now it's coming back. Now it's pretty strong. Now it'd probably make the move, but I'll leave it alone, guys. You guys let me know if you guys see it moving. Upstart. This is one that's on the radar. Really starting to push, guys. Really trying to get some buying to come in here. So this is one that I'd put on the radar today too. Just from the scanner, I can see that it already is getting the attraction from investors this morning, and definitely going to be on the watch. Wayfair showing up in the scanners too. So Wayfair is up there to 56, guys, getting a nice little boost. I saw that Wayfair made the move in trying to open a store in Chicago. Who knows? Maybe this actually starts to make the move. It's not one of my favorite long-term names, but I'll keep a watch on it. Wayfair. What do you guys think about Wayfair? You guys like it? Who's buying stuff at Wayfair? I got to take that away from my wife. All right, guys. What else is out there, guys? My broker blamed my i3 processor. What happened there, Bullseye? Bullseye, you want to know what a PC I built, man? I can build you one. I got an i9 here. GF Force RTX Super. I got the 470 Ti Super. That's how I'm able to run 6 screens here and run all this streaming action and keep things going, guys. So, yeah, the i3, yeah, I'm probably not going to cut it, Bullseye. But if you want to make a cheap computer, hey, let me know, Bullseye. I'll help you out, man. We can definitely figure it out. I can teach you a way to kind of make a cheaper one that can work for you and kind of get a lot of things done. It works fine for all the software. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on your software, right? Like TC runs really smooth because it's what we call low latency program. It doesn't drive a lot of your computer. So what I would check there just to help you out is you go to your task manager and you see what percentages your computer is kind of like using. That's going to be important, and that's going to help you guys. But definitely building one is the way to go. Even Vic knows it. i7, it's okay to build one. Yeah, even an i5 nowadays. You can find some cheap i5s that could do pretty well. i3, I still think would be a little bit too low quality in this day and age, just because Chrome is what drives your computer to the trash, Bullseye. So if you're using a lot of Chrome, I would stop using Chrome. Just stop using it. Close all Chrome windows when you're trading in Sterling. Maybe that'll do you better. But like I talked about it, Bullseye, you need to get with Trade the Pool, my friend. Capital is what you looking like it's needing. But hey, we won't get into that action. I'll leave you alone today. Get into the action today with the market. CleanSpark now pulling back here. Has 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up, 3 down here. Could hold in here for a little bit of a spike down to 550, then come right back up here. So I kind of like this CleanSpark with that MSTR mentioned. Just got to see MSTR get that continued lift and see that Bitcoin can have a good day today. And you could get a push right back in CleanSpark. There's no reason why you can't get this push, let's say maybe back towards 17. A cut down through 15 today, and you got to run away. But it's something that I'd look at. And yeah, browsers overall, take a look at that action. It could be ruining your computer. AMD has some great processors also, very cheap, 100%. And their AMD graphics card, of course, I use an NVIDIA graphics card because NVIDIA is the best. We won't get into that conversation. And maybe I should have been buying NVIDIA because of that, because I always knew their graphics card were way better than everything. But hey, that's how it goes. AMD is not bad either. Their graphics card is pretty cheap too. So if I was building a cheap PC, it'd be an AMD processor with an AMD kind of graphics card to try to help you cut down the price. But hey, let's keep going, guys. Let's see what else is out there. We'll see what else we got. Intel processor. Intel definitely always, if I can choose it, if I can get the i9, right? And I get the i9 that you can boost, the K, the one that you can boost, but I don't boost it. Let's keep going. Let's go back to the market. Let's take a look at Pfizer. That's one that it's on the radar for me. Has pulled back here towards the 2880s. This is one that I could look at to see if we can get a move back at the open here and actually catch a little bit of some buying here. So the 1 hour chart is one thing that I'm going to start using a lot more, guys. This is where I think I'm making a lot of mistakes in my day trading that I use more in my swing trading. I use hourly charts, hourly charts, man. And the big thing for that is looking for hourly pullbacks. We talk about this all the time, and we got a couple minutes here, 4 minutes before the bell. So that's one thing that I'd put on alert, team. If you haven't done so in the past, definitely look more into hourly charts with 15 minutes, right? Because you're going to get 4 15-minute patterns before you get that hourly candle, right? And so a lot of times I'll look to see if it makes sense on the hourly for it to pull back to support, and then what's my risk to return there, right? So like, let's say in Pfizer's case here, if I look at Pfizer, it's gone pretty up in the morning. It's went up to 30.28s. Now you're back to its 28.80s. The risk would be kind of the low end of this big candle. Let's be exact here, 28.44. So if I can get close to that, have an understanding of risk to return. So if I can risk maybe slightly below that, like a box like this is going to be the risk in the trade, right? And I'm just going to draw it just to kind of get the example here, right? So let's say that's the risk, and then I'm looking to get the reward. The reward is back up here towards this high. So if I take a look at that action, that's what it's all about, risk to return. When I can use that risk to return off the hourly, a lot of times I'm going to have a pretty decent risk to return that could give me the ability to get in near this area or risk slightly below it and looking for the move back to the upside. So this is just one thing that I would definitely say to look into if you're a newer trader, that I say has definitely worked for me in the past. And where I get wrong sometimes is stuck too much into the 1 minute chart, guys. So the 1 minute chart is really good for scalping, really good for momentum strategies, not good for range strategies. That's what I've seen, right? That's the only thing I can tell you guys. You guys have to go and make your decisions on what works for you. The only thing I can tell you, what's working and not working for me in this case. So the 1 minute, not what I want to be using more of. I want to be using that hourly. And there's been times where I've taken the 1 minute off my charts, where I'm like, you know what? We're going to edit this time frame. We're going to say to hell with the 1 minute chart and just take it off completely. So I can't even use it. I could still use it technically, right? I could still change to it. But that's one thing that can save you. If you're noticing you're not being able to kind of have that upper hand on the 1 minute, maybe moving back a time frame could definitely help you. All right, future day trade, one of my screens, hourly and 15 minutes only. Honestly, this has done me the best. Why? Because if you went to an institutional desk future day trade, you went to, let's say, and I've been in the New York Stock Exchange, guys, and I gotta maybe look up that video. You guys might want to actually take a look at that. A day in the New York Stock Exchange. I got to take a look at that. See if I can find it for you guys here. NYSE. All right, guys, I'll take a look to find you the video a little bit later, but take a look at that, guys. One thing I can tell you guys is I've been there, right? I've seen it, guys. What did I see on their charts? Well, I saw 15 minutes and hourly charts. That told me enough. That told me enough, guys. And a lot of times they're not even allowed to use a shorter time frame than the 15-minute. And we're talking market makers, right? And a lot of that is just algorithmic volume. They're not doing much, but just to state that, right? And I think it's important to kind of know. And Pfizer is trying to recover the 200-day exponential, which is very important. That's back towards 2960. Has had a lot of volume to kind of get in it at 2850s and 2825s. So near those levels on pullbacks also still look good too. So we'll see what happens with this one. Now we're getting a little bit of a slight pullback here. The market's open, guys. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's see what we can get after today. You guys smash the like. Let me know what stocks you guys are seeing moving, and you guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's get to the app. We're open there, team. Let's see what happens. I'm looking around to see what I can trade. Like always, guys, I'll take a look at some different action. If you guys have some stocks you guys want me to take a look at, throw them up, guys. I'll definitely take a look. Tesla straight down out the gates here from 265 to 263s. So could start seeing some pullback in the action out there. Volcon is one that I'd look at for maybe potential pullbacks off of this mention. But we'll see what happens with this one if it can stay up on the high end. Let me know what you guys are seeing in the market. I'll definitely take a look. Peaceful Verse. Stay focused, my friend. I know you're on that new eval. Wishing you the best day. Get after it, team. All right, KZIA already getting up there to 111s. This was one that I had back at 80 cents. So we'll see what happens on that one. CNSP was one that we were looking at just a small second ago. This is one that I've already taken a haircut on. I'm looking to see if this one wants to make the move back up. The 5-minute chart, you can see it here, trying to hold pullbacks towards 124. A move back towards 140 could be the move. We'll see what happens there. All right, taking a look here at the overall market here. You guys smash the like. Let me know what you guys are seeing in the market. Right now, overall, I see basic materials doing well. And what do you see leading? Silver, baby. Silver not having a bad day today, up there to 680s in the pre-market. AG was looking at this at 650s just yesterday. So pullbacks to 660 definitely makes sense for me in AG. We'll see what happens in gold also. GLD pulling back a little bit. NEM was one that I was looking at this morning, already pulling back a significant amount. So maybe 46 or 45.90 seems to be areas to look for pullbacks on NEM, and that's off the hourly resistance, right? So hourly resistance, pull back to 45.90s, then a move back to 46.60. We'll see what happens on that action. SMCI coming down fast here, back down to 900 here, guys. So it's all about the market overall. The market pulling back a little bit. The Qs pulling back towards the 502s. We're definitely seeing a little bit of some downside in technology here. Let's take a look at the action right now. Basic materials leading the game. All right, guys, taking a look at some action out there. What's going on? Hut, guys. I need to get to the swing trade side of things. Looks like I probably took the money out in Hut this morning. I was in this trade here. Definitely taking the money out this morning. Palantir doing well on the swing trade side of things, guys. I'm up big on this one, guys. I'm at the point where I'm thinking about taking the money and running in Palantir because look where it's at, guys. It's up big. And if the Qs pull back, that's easily going to wreck this trade. But I've been trying to get to the 30s on Palantir, but I have just a few amount left here. So I might just take the money and run in that Palantir position. Hut, I was actually up big this morning and probably should have just taken the money and run. This morning it was down there to 510. I had shorted this yesterday around the 580s. And boy, oh boy, I was up big on this swing trade. And it wasn't a monster trade. I didn't get the biggest share size. I only had 40 shares. I was trying to get 80, but I didn't get the extra fill there. Mara, is this going up today? And Clean Spark going up today. That was one that I was watching for the bell here. 1560s holding well there. Made the move to 1580s. Hasn't made the move to 16. We'll see what happens there. Trying to keep up with all the action in the market, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Smash the like, guys. All right, let's take the energy down a little bit. Let's take it down a notch here. My RAM is using 8 gigs out of 11.9. Yes, once it reaches that 9, it'll definitely hurt you. So just be careful out there, man. All right, let's get after the action. We'll see what else is out there. Taking a look at Pfizer this morning, and look at Pfizer go already, guys. Look at that action right off that jump there off the 29. So this one definitely in play here. Pullbacks here towards kind of 28.90 seem to make sense for me. But Pfizer starting to get going to the upside, and healthcare is one of the leaders to the upside. So that's an area that I could watch for. Financials getting a nice little jump out the gates here. That could definitely keep pushing. We'll see what happens there. Tesla right back up there. So SMCI, one that I could watch for a move back towards the up end. It came down to 900, back up towards 907. So definitely an interesting move there, to say the least. We'll see what happens here. The spread is wide on SMCI, so that's where you got to be a little bit careful. But we'll see what happens on this one if it could really start to push today. Pullbacks on the hourly make sense down towards 896. So be careful with that action of a takedown towards the 896 and then a recovery on SMCI. All right, let's take a look here. NEM pulled back to the 46.26. AG 675 still holding well. Silver, baby. QuantumScape, how'd that one do? Pull back to the 680s. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Let's take a look around, guys. Let me know if you guys are seeing any move that you guys want to talk about. I'll definitely take a look at it. Sound, how'd that one do? Sound AI getting that lift to 580s, guys. So AI overall definitely on the radar today, getting a little spike there already, guys. Nice little 80-cent spike here. So pullbacks to the 30-50s is what makes sense for me in AI today. I like AI more than the sound. Let's see what happens if I can get a pullback to 30.50 here. AI name here, guys. We'll see what happens. Tesla pushing strong here, right back to the upside. So keeping that on the radar. Looking around to see some other trades out there. NEM, one that I'll put on the radar. Trying to put some other trades out there, guys. Let me know what's on the top watch. What are you guys seeing moving out in the market? All right, let's go to the Qs. Let's see what's moving up here this morning and what's moving down, right? So right now I see WBA, Dash doing well, Ross, Tesla, ASML, Marvell pulling back after a strong day yesterday, but out the gate still doing pretty decent. We'll see what else is out there. Let's go to Google. How's that doing? Holding the 192. Amazon. Oh, is back at the 200 spot there. It went down towards 199.25s here. Will it reclaim this 200 and get back up there to the 201.25s? It'll be dependent a lot on what's going on in the overall market, but the hourly pullback layer was a good push there through the 199.50s. Probably got some buying to come in there. We'll see if it gets back to the 200. So that's the 199.50 spot. AI starting to pull back there. I'll look to see if I can get that pull back, especially back towards 30.50, 30.40s here. Looks like I'm going to get that attempt here. So I'm going to take a shot on this, guys. Let's see if I can get it here on the pullback and then look to get it down below, especially add bigger below the 30.50. All right, here's 30.70s. Going to look for the pullback here and see what happens in the overall market. That's definitely something that I'm just keeping a close eye on. NEM pulling back there. Might get my chance towards the 45.80s on NEM. So taking a look at that action. All right, NEM pulling back there. I will be trying to get that. If I can go ahead and try to get an action there, I don't mind it. All right, guys, I put the order out there for 45.80s there on NEM. We'll see what happens with that. I'm still looking at this AI to see if it can get to the 30.50s. It's holding in off this 3070, so might have to jump up and take a starter here, then look for the 3050 pullback. I'm going to do just that here in just a second here. I'm just trying to go ahead and see if I can get in the 60s. There's the 60s for just a second. Lower 61 just showed up there. I'm going to take the starter 63s, only 50 shares, looking to add on the pullback back towards the 3050 here. So I just took the starter there. Now I want to add towards the 3040s and things like that. So let's see if I can get 3050s here and then just keep adding here right below this. Got a 3050 out there. I'm going to put a 3040 out there. Ooh, I know what I'm doing wrong right now, guys. I'm in the wrong account. I'm in the swing trade account on AI. So I'm just going to go ahead and just cut this because I should be in the day trade account with this, guys. So I'm going to cut this, go back into the right account, not try to play and get pretty with it. I'm just going to get back into the where I should be. Now you see the 28s at the top. That's the day trading account. Now I can go after it here and try to get a starter here in the 60s. Same thing I just did, but oh, the jump, man. I just jumped up there towards the 78. That was quick there, guys. So definitely got a bad starter entry there. Bad starter entry there, as I had an entry in the 60s just a second ago. And the offer jumped up there to 74s. Bad starter there. I'll tell myself there, guys. I gotta be honest sometimes. Not a good start position there in the 70s. No reason to be up there that high. It just jumped up really quickly on the offer and caught me. All right, guys, let's see what else is out there. If a stock is pulling back, I'm not buying it. Hey, that's how it is, guys. A lot of traders don't like that, but hey, to each his own. I like to look for pullback opportunities. Some people like to buy the breakouts. It's to each his own, right? I mean, there's not one way to do it, guys. We'll see what happens on SMCI, NEM. Did I get my entry on NEM? That's probably in the swing trade account. Let me go focus on that. All right, guys, let me just set the risk there. I just want to go ahead and set the risk there. I got this swing trade. I got a good amount there. So just want to risk about, let's say, I'm going to risk about $32 there, back down to the 45, 46 here for NEM. This is on the swing trade side of things. Let me go back to the day trade account. I just wanted to make sure I at least had my risk set up there for NEM. All right, let's get back to it here. Let's go to AI. I'm at the 60s now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and try to get some more at the 50s, right? That's where I wanted to get it. I don't want to jump up into the 60s right here because I'm just going to go ahead and put myself in a world of danger there. So 50s, I have it out there. 30, 40s, I have it out there. Really looking for a bigger ad at the 30, 50s. But let's see what happens here. All right, NEM back down there. Close to stopping me out. We'll see what happens on the swing trade side if that starts to come back towards the upside. Q's going down there, guys. Q's going down, so just be careful out there. I do see the Q's struggling there. Tesla back down towards the 263. Q's overall down to 502. So could this be the day that we start to see the crack? We are seeing the crack right now. If the SPY goes, yeah, it could just be kind of a shakeout this morning. Of course, the CPI print was still down here. SPY still holding in, but the Qs are not looking good, guys. The Qs are definitely taking a hit. All right, let's see what happens on the hourly look. Hourly look got energy to the downside, technology to the downside, real estate, healthcare, and utilities looking really well. Healthcare, right? PFE pulling back here towards the 2890s. Doesn't look too bad here. We'll see if it gets to the 2870s, 2860s, and then I can go ahead and try to take a shot on this one for it to come right back up. All right, seeing a nice little decline there in AI. We'll see if I get a nice starter, a better entry here down at the bottom. Definitely jumped up on that offer. Still not pulling back to the 50s, but holding in here on the 9 now could start to take the move back towards the upside downside. The hourly resistance is around that 30.50 for it to hold. There's a resistance right above the 30.60s that you broke through. Let's see if we start to hold that and it just makes the move back through 31. All right, here's a nice little move already towards the 76. Little part of me is thinking about just taking the position off and resizing in at the right layer, which is down towards the 30.50. All right, guys, let's take a look at that Velcon out there. Got you red. We'll see what happens on that one. One reward loss on SEDG. Okay. Looking around, NEM just stopped me out there, guys. That's not going to do well. It's on the swing trade side of things. All right, let's get back to AI. Let's focus in on AI. It's still looking decent here. It's just kind of chomping around. Do got a starter there. Definitely not happy with the position in the start. That's at 78. Should have been at 61 or 60 to give you guys the kind of the change there. Still holding in well. Could still pull back to the 30.50 here. So just keeping that in mind. Let's see if it just wants to take off here. Low has been this 54. Let's just see if you get a little bit of a takeoff here in AI. Back at like 30.90s, I can start trying to do kind of more of a scalp strategy here because I'm pretty high up and I hate being high up, guys. I like being at the bottom, buying that pullback. There's back towards my entry here, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and just start a kind of a small risk here to see if it just wants to go. If it doesn't go, it'll cut me out for a tiny loss. And the big key here is that I'm going to go ahead and get back in. I'm okay with a pullback fill at 30.50s. I want to give it the chance to go there, and it pulls back there. It stops me out. If it doesn't go, hey, that's okay too, right? Because I'm out of the name here and just limiting it. I don't mind coming back in here. I have a $100 cushion. I don't want to get caught at 78s and then add 50, and then I'm still up at 60s. So the idea is to get towards 30.50s as close as possible. SPY overall coming back now, 561s. Can the Qs come back, guys? That's one thing that we need to keep a close eye on. Healthcare names doing well. Pfizer back down towards that 2866 layer. This is kind of the level that if I wanted to take a shot on, this is the area. It's kind of pulled back into the 2850s. See what happens on that one. Doesn't look too bad, but man, I was trying to call the bottom on a ugly stock. All right, we'll see what happens on AI. It's up there to 30.75, still holding in well. Could just take off through the 30.90s and then go through the 31s. Still leaving that option there. So I'm going to cancel the limit ads right now. 30.80 starting to show up there. We'll see if it just breaks through the 31. Really, it's not a big deal because even on the plus side, it would have been $30 there for me. So let's see if it goes to that 31 on AI. Nike starting to make a move, 73. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it is starting to come back a little bit, but man, I don't know how you trade these future day trade. You're telling me if a stock's pulling back, I'm not buying it. How do you buy Nike then? That's the hard part. But hey, maybe you know a better way, man. CYN, another stock that has a split that has made a quick little run in the pre-market. We'll look to see if it can make another run. I don't like it here at all, but hey, you guys take a look at that one. The QS coming down a pretty good amount. Sound trying to make a move through sixth. AI not going anywhere, man. I'm taking a look at it, but it's not doing much right now. Got to find some other names, guys. Gonna go looking around. Let me know what you guys see out there. Zappy Zap. At $10 now. Zappy Zap up there to 10. I'll look to see if it comes back there. Run. Solar stocks were pretty strong. Let's see if solar stocks are still strong. Yeah, you got some that are up. Not looking too bad. Run, Nova being one of those that kind of got a nice little spike there. Array trying to make another move there. SEDG, we'll see what happens on those. I'm not the biggest fan of the solar names, but it's just because they're hard to trade, man. All right, let's go back to some solar names. NEM definitely giving me that cutout there. Now could start working its way back, but I tried that 1 hour resistance. Now it's the 1 hour support. So this 45.41 would be the entry. Then the risk has to be down to 45.12s. So I don't mind this one, but just got to keep it really tight if I do take this. Got cut out in the swing trade, so I can take it here in the day trade. It just needs to come right back up and be a gold type of play here. But you got the low 45.34. Doesn't look too bad there, but man, these falling knife buys are hard to get. At 45.43 seems to be an area that I can maybe risk off of. See if I can get like a 50 entry on a pullback, but this could easily just start working its way back. We'll see what happens. How's the AG doing there? Pullback to 650s, 660s. It's kind of the area that I was looking at for the pullback, and then the kind of some dip buyers coming back into this silver play. We'll see what happens there. Mara, we'll see. It's up there to 1960s. Could take the continued lift today. Clean Spark also made that 1550 pullback, so that's actually a good, decent pullback there. Let's see if this one just wants to push towards the 16 today. Not a bad look there from Clean Spark. See if that one gets going towards a 16 break. Q's still struggling there, guys. Still struggling. So we could also look at like an SQQQ trade or a SOXS. SOXS has been ripping this morning. That's if you're thinking the SPY's just going to crack too, and there's just going to be a red day. Unity making a big push, guys. Look at this stock ripping from the ground. Literally from the ground. Unity. The trash is moving right now, guys. Be careful out there. AI now starting to make the move here. We'll see if that gets the lift there through the 31. It's still holding pretty well. Man, that 61 was the entry. It's a little frustrating on that one. I just screwed the pooch with it this morning on the account. All right, we'll see if it gets through that 31. I don't want to just jump up on 31s. That's just not my strategy for the breakout above 31. There's 4,000 shares waiting there. So definitely going to run into the wall at that 31, but could just blow through it. Sound is another one that I was looking at for the 6 break. That's actually holding in well here off the 590s. It could go for the 6 break now. There's a lot of share size up on that 6 break for Sound. But man, AI was a good look this morning. Just didn't play it well on that pullback. Could have got at least a nice entry around the 3060. We'll look to see if that keeps running. Clean Spark there, back down towards the 1560. So, hey, at least the layer is there if you want to take the trade. Now the only question is, will it hold, right? Will it hold? It could still go to the 1550s. MSTR, how'd that one do? It's holding in right now. Couldn't make the next move up. That's one sign to look for. All right, guys. Mara looking for pullbacks. I see you out there, Eric. Here's Sound going for that 6 move. Let's see if that gets it there. Not a bad looking one. The AI plays, man, coming in today. AI going for that 31 break. That's going to get a little frustrating, man. Should have been able to play this one today. Just got to leave it alone because it's just going to frustrate me now. Carvana. We'll see if this one keeps going. Had some good news yesterday. Run with the pullback. EMPH. We'll see if that can keep making a move. Upstart was one that I was looking at also, but that hadn't made too big of a move this morning. Kind of hard to play it up here at 26. All right, what else? What's another one? Velcon, how's that one doing? Up there to 629s. Trying to make the move, but failing so far. All right, just looking around TNA. You got the small cap bulls. Small cap bulls? Small cap bull direction. 3 times the shares. Small caps. IWM moving. Yeah, man, we talked about IWM yesterday. Look at the IWM today. We were talking about IWM yesterday. Could start getting moved. And boy, oh boy, it's doing a nice little breakout. Ah, that good old IWM. That tells me to look for things that are moving in the IWM. Nerve one, a biotech at the 350 spot. Looks like it's trying to get going again. This is a cheap boy. Volume is low on this one, though. Just be careful on that. Run is in the IWM. Run. Place getting a nice little lift there. Nova, of course, some of these smaller names. Redfin. What happened with RKT? There you go. Back up above the 14s. This one wants to make a move today. See? Open. Not a bad one. You think it's buy the rumor, sell the news day? It could have been, Vic. Very much. How's Zillow doing? Zillow was strong. Now pulling back here. Unity just breaking through highs, continuing to run. This one got hot today, guys. These are momentum plays getting hot there. Affirm. Can't do it, Affirm. Can't do it, man. Tesla going higher now. I could shake some things and start making moves back towards the upside. Here's SMCI here, guys. Back down towards hourly support. The 880 area would be the risk on that. The key is, do the Qs break the 500 here? All right, guys, looking around to see what is making a move here. I see NEM starting to get a little bit of a bounce here. I'm willing to take a shot on this just to start to work its way back here. So let's go ahead. Let's take a little bit of a shot here. All right, just grabbed a little bit there at the 66 area. Let me lower this so you guys can see it. Long a little bit there on NEM. Really want to hold off this 45.30s here, but looking for this to start working its way back on the 15 hourly, start working its way back towards the upside. Definitely $46 back up through that is what I need to kind of see for this to continue. But this has pushed up already on the daily a significant amount. Big layer for me is to look back through the 46. If it can't get back through that 46, it's probably going to cut down on the hourly and then cut through the 45.30s. So that's going to be the kind of the risk right now. Let's see that this could start working its way back. All right, looking around for some other trades too. I want to set this up and just kind of let this work here because this is that type of trade where it's not that bad on the risk side. It's only going to be about 75, 76. But looking for a big move back up towards the up end. Could be like a $200 trade. So we'll see what happens on this on pullbacks. Right now, I'm just trying to let NEM work. All right, looking around for some other ones. AI did break that 31, but came right back down. So we'll see if it reloads and comes back down. So did Soundhound. As this is a trap something to take a look at out there, guys. The Qs are trying to start coming back. So SMCI doesn't look like the worst one to maybe take a shot on the pullback. But that's you have to be able to like kind of risk down. That's the harder part with the SMCI, is that if you don't catch it on the right day with the right sizing, you can get destroyed. We'll see what happens on that one. Unity still pushing, man. 1650 now. That was a big run there. Run pulling back to the 1480s. We'll see what happens on that one. VLCN, MLGO showing up there for me. Man, what happened there? MLGO started showing up. Look at that, spiking towards the 550, 580s, guys. Where's my penny stock watchers in the chat, man? Yell at me when you guys see a mover like this. It's too late now for me because it's just ways away now. SPY and Qs coming back here. That's going to help some trades start to get the lift there. We'll see what happens on Pfizer if it comes back, but not a bad one that I'm keeping a watch on there to see if that starts to work its way back with healthcare names. But definitely MLGO taking off there. QS, what's up with QS? It's pulled back to the 7. Can it get the boost from the 7, come back to the 8? I mean, a lot of buying coming in on that pullback for QS. But then also one thing to note with QS is that it's had a lot of overhead supply. So a lot of traders today might want out on QS as they've been holding this for some time. So that's just one thing to note. 705's back there for QuantumScape. We'll see if it gets moving there. Freyr battery was one that I was taking a look at potentially for kind of like swing off of this QS news. Maybe Freyr gets the lift there, starts to come back there towards the 2. One that I'm just watching there. MLGO back to 560s. We'll look to see if that can continue to run. LCFF just showed up there, was up there towards the $4 spot, just pulled back below the 4, now taking the 4 and continuing here. This one looking strong right now. Next layer is a gap fill to 470s here. We'll look to see if it gets through that 450s, 470s, and boy, oh boy, is this one moving fast. BSFC, Blue Star Foods, not doing too well this morning. Cyn, CYN, trying to bounce back off of the $5. We'll look to see if it starts to make a push. In small and MLGO. Okay, I see you out there. NEM starting to go in the green there for me, so it doesn't look too bad on that NEM buy. I can add to it and just try to keep riding this gold, but for right now, I'm just going to try to ride the buy that I have. AI trying to break this 31, still hasn't broken it. We'll see what happens on that. Sound still trying to fight that 6. I see Open and Joby. Oh, come on, bitch. This one's a little frustrating. You guys know Joby was one of my top watch yesterday on the playbook. Today it's up there to 570, already on a nice 6% run. So pullbacks I have to wait till 550s or 540s for me to get in this. But boy, oh boy, does this also tell me look at maybe Archer to get the lift today. That one was struggling, had pulled back here towards the 440s, can go back to the 480s. Right now, it's kind of sideways. Could start taking the move there towards the 480s. Doesn't look too bad, but Joby was definitely one of the top watches for me, and I just missed that move. This is where it gets a little bit harder, guys, when I'm just looking all around the market. But hey, that's just how it is. I got to figure a way to kind of get these and see the trigger. I did get the alert for it. I'm sure I can just look up. And look, guys, just to kind of show you guys it here, my TC platform, so you guys can believe me. I'm not BSing you guys. Look right there. Joby crossed up through the 525s to the 538s, giving you that alert. Look at my alerts right here. These are my alerts right now, guys. So just I show you guys the truth right there. Yeah, Joby, Chewy, Rocket, ANVS, all names that I was watching. All right, we'll see what else is out there. That was from the 538s break, and it's already at 565. So if it can come back to that level, 545s, 550s, doesn't look too bad. But Joby, not a bad move there. SPY working its way back up, guys. So that's one thing to note. That means SMCI wasn't the bad dip buy there. I didn't go after it there, but hey, that's just how it is. AMD has pulled back to the 183s. We'll look to see if that comes back up there. Tesla continuing to the 270s tune. So with that being said, watch out there for those vehicle names. That VLCN could start making an up move with Tesla pushing towards the upside. I'm not touching that, but even Zap could start making a push. We'll see what happens on those names. Let's take a look at some other ones. Unity. Oh my God, this thing is just on, like, who's on the elbow buy button on Unity? Take the elbow off, man. Holy moly. Unity software. What is that? That's 7 bars straight up. 7 bars. Clean spark there, holding the 570s there, just recovered now. Now's the chance if I want to try to play a little bit of that clean spark move back to the upside. It doesn't look too bad there. The key is MSTR. How's that one doing there? MSTR. Pulling back now. It's going to attempt to maybe do a little bit of a breakdown here. So maybe an hourly pullback and then the drive higher on MSTR. That's where it gets difficult on clean spark. Part of me wants to play this right now based on the clean spark chart, but MSTR not looking the best. Sound just broke through that 6 there. We're through it. And that means AI through 31. See it. It's right there on AI. I'll go a little bit bigger here. I want to get into AI a little bit bigger here, guys, but I have to go for a scalp. Scalping is so not up my alley, guys. Just not up my alley. Want to. I'm telling you, man, I'm itching to take the trade there in AI. But I'm gonna respect my rules and try to wait for pullbacks. We'll see if I get it or not. Respect the rules sometimes, team. All right, Bloom Energy is working its way back up towards the upside. I did see a lot of like kind of some volume starting to come in this morning. It is pushing well. Look to see if this actually can hold and push through the high. Start working its way back to 14. AG pulled back to that 650, 656. Not a bad area, and maybe on the dip buys for 660s on gold. I love gold. I tell you, gold. Looking around, guys, to see what else is making a move. What about the banks? How the banks doing there? Banks actually starting to collapse a little bit there, guys. So it might have been not the bad move to short the banks here today. Morgan Stanley still staying strong. Those names doing decent there. JPM starting to work its way back. We'll see what happens on XLF. That's one thing that I'd watch for too. This is probably, I'm looking for kind of a blow off top all day on XLF. We'll see what happens there. NEM now starting to work way back there. It's starting to go to the 45.76, 45.70s. It's trying to make the move. Hasn't been able to really kind of push off back to the 46. But I'm just watching it to see if it can start to push up. Doesn't look too bad right now. I mean, I'm in the green, but it's not big. Nova, there you go. Some solar names starting to get the move back up. So that tells me IWM looking well. IWM is strong, guys. This is one thing that I noted yesterday that I think is an important thing to catch there. Must have the 10-cent move in at least 1 minute time frame is completely right, Eric. And that's exactly what I practiced this morning. So you could see it here on that KZIA move. You can see that there, the 10 cents, right? 78, 79, average 79, selling at 89. That's what you have to do, man. All right, let's see what else is out there, guys. IWM still pushing well, guys. So definitely that's going to affect some of the small caps and continue to kind of get those to keep pushing. TEM, Tempest AI, right? I've talked about this one. Will this one have a decent day? It has potential, right? Talked about the banks stepping in there, stepping up big on Tempest AI. They put out 44s. So maybe this 35 starts to hold. So pullbacks to 35.25 seems to make sense for me on Tempest AI. This is a smaller name, of course, recent IPO. AI pulling back to the 30.95 still hasn't made the move there. So that's one thing to know is that it's just hanging out at the 31. Sound did a little bit better on that break. Turn, TERN, trying to push there towards the 9. Biotech, trying to get back there through the 9. has a lot of resistance right above it at the 9. All right, looking at this ANVS, giving me a little bit of an alert. And this one was a hot mover, right? It's reloading here, guys. Trying to get back through the trend line, the 15 break towards 1580s. So it's at 1420s right now. Maybe a cut down through the 14 recovery. You just went through that to 1380s here. Look at that. That's that cut down through the 1380s. We'll see if that gets back up there. 9 EMA held well there. Let's see if it keeps going to the next layer. Really not up my alley there on this one, but hey, that's just how it goes. NEM, nice little push back there towards the 45.85s. Now we're looking pretty decent on this. So let's see if this can really start to make this move. I'm canceling down my orders just so I don't really jump in here for a second, but I do want to like look for pullbacks opportunities to add, but this is looking pretty decent. Just going to let it continue to work. Let's see if I can get like, 60, 80, maybe $100 on this. This could easily get a nice little 200 gain back to 46.60s. So just looking for this to kind of work on the hourly, get back up towards the hourly resistance, like 46.40s. This was off the hourly. I wanted to trade some trades on that. We'll see what happens there. MLGO, there, you guys see it off the 540s right now. We'll see if this one wants to keep going. Daily chart coming all the way down there. We'll see if it starts to make its move back. I don't like that daily chart at least, but hey, to each his own, guys. If you guys like it, get after it, man. Q's making a new low there, guys. So, man, this is the hard day, guys, because it's trappy all around. That's one thing I'd definitely say. The SQQQ is trying to push there towards the 726, trying to keep pushing there. We'll see what happens on that to see if we see some takedown in the market today. NVIDIA now going lower there, guys. Tesla's still up at the top there. That one's holding in well. NVIDIA is taking a big beating. AMD could come right back down too. We'll see, guys. It's definitely mixed noise right now. Unity was just ripping, guys, and continuing to rip. 1680s now. What is going on in Unity? That means they're picking up the trash. ARC is one thing to look at here as we start seeing the trash continuing to lift there, guys. We'll see what happens out there. PAC-B up a significant amount there. Beam, some biotech names out there. VERE. So there's some moves out there moving. Even CRISPR getting a nice little lift today. So a lot of the healthcare names, nice little push up. Coin bouncing back right now. MSTR trying to hold the pullback right now. Let's see if Clean Spark gets the move now. All right. Looks like we're getting some Tesla mentions, some new names in the chat. Love to see it, man. Tesla volume. Hey, have you ever traded TZA? No, I haven't, man. Small cap bear. That's interesting. Small cap bear. I have not traded TZA, man. Plug. The plug. Plug's up. The trash is up, man. They're looking for trash out there, guys. Nicola. The trash is moving, guys. The trash is moving. Trash out there, guys. This is as trash as it gets there for me. Nicola. Tesla finally turning back a little bit there. What's up with the vehicle names out there, guys? Zap. What's up with those auto manufacturers? Let's take a look at them, see how they're doing. All right, if I take a look at auto manufacturing, what's the leading kind of auto names? You see Polestar making a dollar move. I talked about that maybe this one would start to move because it just was kind of running on sympathy. It's trying to break that $1 right now. Zap. It's trying to work its way back today. This one's in play as long as Tesla can stay strong, right? I mean, 925's $9 pullback here. Can it get back to 1050? I mean, the risk and return is there at least, right? That's one thing to note. Let's see what happens here in Zap. Nice looking chart right now on this pullback here with a 940 run back towards 10. There's a big bid at the 918s and the $9 spot. StockSats big push, Q's big takedown there, guys. Big takedown on the Q's back to 500. So that's where I got to be a little bit careful. Downside coming in the market here. Qualcomm going down lower. So right now, it's showing me that you're getting that downside to come in technology, and you can start looking for really strong names to turn around, like Apple. Apple is a clear example of a stock that's made a huge move since the recent action and could just come down on the day here. So, yeah, I'm going to start looking at potentially maybe taking some shorts out there. Leslie's Pool Supplies making a move out there. Man, there's some trashy stocks moving today. Grow Generations moving up. Yeah, the trash, man. It's like the smaller names that are making the moves, right? EVgo, QuantumScape was one earlier, right? So there's definitely some trash out there getting some move. All right, guys. NEM getting to the point where I just might take the profits and keep trying to work some of this kind of smaller trade action, just taking the money and running right now. So let's go ahead. Let's take that money and run. Let's look for another reload there. Just took the trade off there. Got 141. Got a bad fill there. I got filled at 45.80s, but hey, I'll take what I can get here. So you have a nice little cushion there. At least a trade in the green there for NEM. Looking to reset up here as the SPY could dump on some trades here. The Qs also just getting annihilated there, guys. So big flip there in the Qs. NVIDIA getting hit. Costco taking a hit. Look at this, guys. There's some beating out there, guys, and it's all in semiconductors taking a big whacking. So AMD, let's see if you hold on, buddy, but I don't see it right now. AMD leaking already to the 182.40s, and it came down fast. Microsoft coming down fast. We are seeing a little bit of a takedown attempt here. So SOXS probably ripping through the roof there. 1888s still looking good there on SOXS. We'll look to see if that pushes through the 19. That's some downside action there. SMH also cutting down fast there. So a lot of these tech names probably going to start to get the hit there. Palantir might have to run towards the profits in Palantir on the swing trade side of things. Let's go do that and just take the trade off here, guys. So I'm going to go to change over to the swing trade side of things. You see it right there, guys. 40 in the green there. I'm just going to take the money and run in Palantir. Not a bad trade there in Palantir at all. There's the money and running, guys. And I hate to take that money and run on my swing trades, guys. But the truth is, when the market starts to move against you, I take the money and run. When the market moves against me in swing trades, I take the money and run. I'll repeat it. That's what I like to do, guys. I've seen it countless times. The turn just gets so big on you that you give up all the gains. Q's coming down fast, guys. All right, we'll see if it keeps coming down. Lucid's actually doing good. That just goes to show you the trash is moving, guys. The trash out there is getting the lift. Sound back to 583s. AI right back towards that 3060. We'll look to see if it gets the lift back up. But man, it's hard to go long when you're seeing the SPY get hit like it is right now. The smaller names are kind of still doing well, so those could keep battling, but it's going to be a tough battle with the market doing what it's doing right now on the takedown. And with this being said, what's in the green? What's doing well is going to be important. Financial services are getting that nice little lift. Industrials are getting a lift. Energy, really nice takeoff there in energy. Is this finally the move that we've been waiting for in oil names? We could start seeing that lift. And if oil names start to go higher, a lot of times I'll look for what? Basic materials like and you could see silver's doing well, man. It's already recovering a little bit here on AG. This actually doesn't look too bad to make a move to 680s. But yeah, definitely seeing it all around there, guys. I can look at coal when I see energy make a move up. So HCC was one that's been hot as of late, has pulled back here. Now we'll start to get the strong move back towards the upside. Things like that I can maybe take a look at. Valero, we'll see if these energy trades can actually bounce. All right, switch back here. Let's keep it going. All right, taking a look out there. Still looking at Mara, Eric, for downside action. And then along, okay, well, the downside definitely came in here. Clean spark. Down move there. MSTR. Forget your split. Ow. All right, looking around, man, the Qs are just getting that tanked, guys. That means Tesla is probably my call again, guys. Does Tesla finally top out here, guys? I think it does. The risk for me, 267.60s. So let's see if I can come after Tesla again, guys. This has been a hard trade for me, guys. I'm telling you, I've been trying to take it down, but have failed on the takedown attempts. Q's trying to crack the 498s and SPY back down to 460s. So definitely crack the 500, the Q's. So I'm looking to see if it bounces back to that 500, but no bounce just yet. Zap could come down also with if Tesla breaks, right? Tesla breaks. I'd be looking at that. Ford has been hot with Tesla's move. So that's another one that I could look at for maybe it to start coming right back down. GM also, but they have been hot, and that's a lot off of Tesla's move. That's just sympathy in the industry. LCFY. Woohoo! Second halt up to that 680s. What a move there, guys. I see you. I see it. Bullseye. I see you. It's all good, Eric. You don't got to be perfect, man. We all make mistakes. The key is admitting it, and then how can I go ahead and make money on it today, right? You can flip-flop all you want. Like, the truth is, you don't have to stick to an opinion. That's not what trading's about. It's about understanding when we're wrong and then doing something about it. Regional banks doing really well here, guys. DPST, regional bank bull action, getting a big push up there, guys. So pullbacks to 78 makes sense on that. But financials getting that lift here today and pushing strong. That just tells me that this could be a blow off top at the end of the day. But for right now, I'm not going to run in front of it. Morgan Stanley back to 105. I know we were looking at Morgan Stanley for a 100 push. That's been gone. All right, there's the pullbacks, guys. Now we'll look to see what happens here. AI is back to that 30-50 spot here. So I might take my shot here. I talked about I would take the 30-50s, even though I'm still seeing the downside action in the market here. I got to take a shot there off of this one because the truth is, this was the layer that I was looking at here for the pullback. Now the only question is, can the Qs even bounce, man? The Qs are not bouncing, though, right now. They're getting the flush. That's the hard part here. IWM was doing well, though. That's one thing I can take a look at. IWM now pulling back to the 209. Can that get back through the 210s? This could pull back to the 30-25 spot first. That's the hard part there. It's that you got the 9 EMA right there for pullback entries off this kind of 30-26 spot. The only question is the Qs, man. The Qs are just going down fast, man. That's one thing to note. It's a takedown attempt there. All right, here's that attempt back towards the 30-60s here. I can go ahead and try to take in a shot here. I'm being hesitant. That's the hard part, and you guys can see it. Big part of that is the Qs takedown. How big of a takedown are we going to see today? And the trash is moving, so if there's anything to buy, it's this trash, right? AI. But, man, it's hard to buy trash on a day where you're seeing the takedown. SPYs are coming down fast here. Q's down to 497. You can see it down to 497. I'm looking to see if it bounces back to 500 because that's the bounce back that maybe it takes it again. QS 685 still holding in here. We'll look to see what happens there on QuantumScape. AI trying to recover there. There's the 30-50s. I had my attempt for it, right? I did not take it. I hesitated. You guys saw it. The attempt was there for the 30-50 buy. Did not take it. Now we'll see if it takes off through the 31s. That's the layer for the big breakout. We'll see what happens there. Sound is another one to look at. It's went through that 6, came back this morning. So you have that opportunity here. Just the overall market takedown is kind of hard to get around right now. QURE may have just cracked. Yeah, that one may have just cracked. I remember that one was setting up yesterday for a move through 6, and that thing made a big move, man. That thing was up to 11. Oof. QURE cracked down towards the 870s. Push back here towards, let's say, 950s. Doesn't look too bad. Man, confusing day. IWM taking that next push to the upside there. Just a note on one of them that's doing pretty decent. I'm telling you, AI has got my attention. I want to trade it, want to get in on this one, but not taking it based on the overall index. The Qs just keep going lower and lower here. Tesla, will we get a rip back to the upside? I think we might get one more bounce, man. That's where AI can get that rip. All right, 5 minutes says a nice little up move, came back through it, trying to hold the pullback towards that 30-40 spot. Hourly has a level here of that 30-26 being more of that hold. Will we get back through the 30-90s? That's going to be the important outlook on the upside, 30-90s and 31s. Q's trying to bounce a little bit. Stock will look for big pullbacks there on the hourly. LNTH going up there to the 118s. That's not looking too bad there. Nova, what's a solar name, trying to hold in here. Can they make a run to 7? Solar's actually been doing a pretty good move, and I think a lot of that is energy getting a nice little lift there. Peggy was moving yesterday, right? Pineapple, baby. Pineapple energy. All right, QS kind of holding in right now. SPY holding in there. AMD starting to come back there. So is this the move now? Is this the time? AI is right there to the 30-60s. We'll see if it makes a move. Q's trying to bounce a little bit here. There's 30-70s right back there for AI. We'll look to see if it takes out the 31 on the high end there. MLGO, how'd that one do? It's holding in off the $5 spot there. We'll look to see if it takes the next step up there. ANBS coming back to the VWAP, bouncing off of that VWAP. We'll see if it takes the next step back here. It's a run to 15. There's potential in that ANBS. There's AI back to 30-78, so definitely hesitated on that 30-50 move. Not going to just jump in now, just watching it now as I'm stuck here, just taking a look at it. NEM continuing to climb back. So, hey, that's still not looking bad there. We'll see what happens on silver to see if it makes a move up here. MAG is one that I've mentioned earlier for the move back to 14. Pulling back off that nice hourly pullback here, the 1331s. Move back there towards 1380s. Seems to make sense there for MAG, and that's a silver play. See if I can get one more down action on this. Kind of create this 335 and then the comeback. Silver, baby. Q's is chomping, man. Not doing too much there. Slowing down, if anything. All right, Tesla's back up there. Has tried to make the move back up there a couple of times. I know I've been trying to short this move here, so a couple of times there. Let's see what happens in the Q's to see if it comes back to 500. That's what I'm waiting for here, is a move back in the Q's to 500 to see what happens, because it's going to determine a lot of what happens in tech today. VFS. Oh, man, now we're really looking in the trash. There it is. There it is. Man, this one could get going, guys. I mean, you're definitely talking about the trash out there, but hey, I mean, the trash moves sometimes, guys. The trash does move. Nicolas, Trying to recover 10. We talked about that one a little earlier. Will Nicola make another move? The daily chart has a nice little setup there, holding off the 950s, going back up there towards, let's say, a run towards, let's say, 1050s today, 1150s. You got $10 right above it there. 990s holding in right now. Nicola. Oh man, this would be a hard one to trade and lose on. Because I think it's such a crappy stock, but that doesn't matter sometimes, guys. Still looks good even on the 15-minute here. It's holding the kind of the 990 pullback. It's trying to take 10. Doesn't look too bad there for the 10 kind of push here. The Qs are just kind of slow there. That's the problem. There's really not much action there. It's the IWM that's doing well. IWM names, I think those could keep going. So you got MEI, Big Lots doing a good move today. CYRX. Some of these moves are doing really well here in the IWM. So those names have continued and done pretty decent here. This Children's Place here looks interesting because it did make a nice little lift here. And it's turning around kind of a layer here. Doesn't look bad at all here. 920 to recover 980s. Okay. Not a bad one that I'm watching there. I'm looking at stocks that in the IWM. Weight Watchers getting a lift there. Okay. Keeping a watch to see what happens on these. But PLCE, not a bad one on the radar for me. Nicola. Here comes the 10 outlook here. We'll see. We'll break that 10 going to the 1025. Doesn't look too bad here for the scalp opportunity. Man, I don't take too many scalps, but I think today's going to be the day that we take a look at the scalp action. VFS is also another one that I could look at for the scalp action. That one, just looking for that one just to continue the hot trend. And this thing has squeezed in the past. 450 break above that can really get this going. We'll see what happens there. Nicola hitting the $10 spot there. Can he go back up there towards the 1050s? Yes, it's definitely capable. Let's see if I can get a quick pullback here to 995. That's where I join the party. That's where I take the shot there. I'll take the shot on Nicola today. Just need a quick pullback towards 995 here. It's above the 10 spot. You broke out some 10 spots now. Now I'm looking for the quick little pullback to just quick back there on the offer, and then just jump right back up there. We'll see if we get it there. It's accused trying to come back there towards the 500. Still hasn't been able to do it though. That AI, I don't even want to look at it anymore. That's going to be a hard one to watch there later today. Nicola to 1005. We'll look to see if it keeps running. No pullback yet, man. This thing could just not pull back. It just could easily be like that. Even if I got like, let's say 990 there, I could be selling into this move right now, right? And so that's just one thing to note. $210 on IWM now. That's continuing the move. Place doing pretty decent. Talked about this one. It's in the IWM doing well. We'll see if it takes the 990s and 10 today. Starting to work its way back. Definitely got some volume as of late too. 905s on the pullback. Made sense earlier in the day. And it never went back there towards that 905. NEM back towards 4590s. Sound right off the 590 spot. Will this one take 6 and keep going? This is one that I could watch also, guys. So Sound, of course, AI trying to make the move here. I'd have to hold off the 585s. This is kind of like a bearish pattern on the 1 minute, but a bullish pattern on the 5 and 15. Here's the 590s already starting to make the lift here. Let's see if I can get the smallest tick down into the 580s. Just take a little bit of a shot here on this one. Pullback is towards the 577s. Got this 15-minute outlook where you can pull back to that. So you got to be careful with this one. I like the attempt to 585 and then recovery. All right, looking around, guys. Time to get a little bit of coffee. What are you guys taking a look at in the chat? The chat's been quiet today, guys. Bullseye taking over the chat here. Here's that 588 showing up there now. See if we get a slight tick down towards the 585s. AI, what's going on with that one? Trying to come back. Nicola. BFS. We'll see if that keeps going too. Q's just chomping, ran. All right, guys, I'll be right back, guys. 2 seconds here, guys. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to take a look at today. All right, traders, I'm back here. Took a little bit of a second there. All right, guys, I am green on the day, right? So I got to take the stress down a little bit. Missing trades is okay. It's okay, guys. It happens. Sound is back there towards the 580s. So if I wanted to take the shot there, it's there, capable for it. The Q's still trying to bounce back there. So that's one thing to note. Still hasn't really broken down. It's trying to cut down below the 500, but could always reclaim that 500. Here's the 580s look here for sound. And I did see in the chat a couple of mentions of some different ones. ANVS up there now to the 420s. So you got the opportunity there on the VWAP. I didn't take it, but definitely the VWAP was there. And we'll see what happens on that one. LCFY spread wide there. It went up there. This one's definitely spreading out there. I got to go to the smaller time frames to kind of see what happened there. 1, 2, didn't halt on the third halt. Could go for a third halt on this LCFY. The 9 EMA just undercut and went back, like undercut it below the 8, and then now trying to recover that. I'd look to see if 8 can hold now and start to get back up there. It would have to be a quick trade here for me, but I do see it there. Let's see if it recovers that 8 and then breaks through the 875 on the high end. Remember, a pullback could be to 725. So you got to know you're out there for LCFY. MLGO up there towards 5. Broke down, guys. It was up there to 580s. Definitely turned back in a hurry. Turn up there towards 880s. It's actually doing pretty well on the day. Sound and Joby, man. Joby, guys. Oh, man, this should have been a swing trade. Looking really good here. 577, guys. So really nice move there for Joby Aviation. With that being said, I talked about Archer maybe getting a nice little update today. It's holding it off this 440s. Could make a move to 550s and then make the move back through it. This would have to be a bigger trade here, but doesn't look too bad on the day. And that's just playing some sympathy. NVIDIA. Back down there. There's sound waking up there off the 590s now. So here's my attempt here on sound. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here, guys. All right, guys, just took a little bit there at the 590s, right? 591 on the fill here. Pullbacks towards like 585s. I can go ahead and add a little bit, look for the break through 6, going to 620s. It's about what? Like about 30 cents on the upside. So I can risk about what, 10 cents if I'm doing a 3-to-1. So things like that I need to keep in mind, right? We'll see what happens here. Took a little starter here, looking for it to hold the 580 pullback, start pushing up towards the end up. The big thing, the Qs are going sideways. So if you do get a takedown, just be careful out there, guys. Qs sideways there, sideways. Sound pulling back there. Now I need to see some buying come stepping right back into this, get it back through the levels. 580s, really want to see that kind of hold on the pullbacks, get back up there through 6. All right, I do see a lot of volume at 575 and big resistance at 594. All right, one that's starting to wake up, guys, that is starting to move towards the upside. I don't know if it's going to make a major move, but CNSP, that was one that I traded earlier in the day, starting to recover, just made a little bit of a pop. How's AI doing there? AI still holding up at that 30.88. How's that one that you were looking at, day trade with Tony, LCFY, holding in that 8 pullback for right now. Let's take a look at the 1 minute on that one. Just went back to the 775 spot. So that was actually an interesting spot. Let's see if it starts to take it back towards the upside. This one's a hard trade for sure. $8 seems to make sense on pullbacks, but you're talking about a fast mover there. All right, sound kind of holding in here. We'll see if it starts to make the move up. Trying to stay off the 1 minute and go on the 5s, right? There's a takedown attempt here, guys. Back down towards the 80s here. Just got to watch it through. 75s definitely will get the heck out. There's a big order at 70s, so it could go right towards that 570s there, guys. Got to be careful here on the pullback. Getting some kind of downside action, that's for sure. Going to set the risk there at 575s. Could get hit there on the pullback there. There's a big amount of share size there also, 14,000 shares there. So that's where the pullback action kind of happens. So we'll see what happens on this one if I do get clicked out there at the 575 spot. No ad there yet. So that's one thing. Another thing to note is I could go for an ad here, but then that starts to lower down and increase my risk there. LCFY, there it goes. Ooh, to the downside she goes, back to 736. $7 on the pullback, areas to look for, but man, that's a hard one to trade. Turn, we'll look to see if that one gets back up there towards 8 ANVS. One that could get to 15 today. Joby still doing well, man. Joby, Mitch. Joby's definitely giving me a little bit of a headache there. Probably going to get capped out right here in sound. It's right off of it, guys. Right off the 75s. Probably going to get clicked out there at the 75. If I don't get clicked out, it is what it is, but definitely seeing it. There it comes for me. See if it hits me right now. There it is. Can see it coming, man. Q's lower, guys. Q's lower. I got to go for it in Tesla now, guys. I've been waiting to see this Tesla move, and the Q's just kind of keep playing around. So I'm going to take at least a starter here and see if I can start risking off of this. I've already lost a good amount there for Tesla before, so I'm going to go with the little starter like I did yesterday and then look to see if I can add back towards 267. Don't want this back through 268. You can't go back through that layer. It needs to start to break down right off of this. Little bounce there. Q's trying to go lower here. See, we really start to crack here. And a little bounce there in Tesla, back up towards 267.50s, added just a little bit there, 30. So it's starting to take the ads there. You guys can see it right here. It's in the red, but definitely starting to take a shot there in Tesla. All right, Q's going lower here. I'm going to take a little bit more of a shot here, looking for the wipeout back down towards the 265 on Tesla here. Let's see if we get it. 266 coming down, not really breaking just yet. Let's see if it starts to break here. Got 90 shares, so definitely would be a nice win. It starts to move fast. See if we can get it to crack here. I'm up a okay amount right now, just watching it. Got up there about $40 for a second there. Seeing if the Qs are going to go lower here and make a break. CNSP, guys, getting hot, guys. I've talked about that one just a little while ago. Now that's starting to get hot there for the 150 break here. We'll see if this one gets to $2, but started seeing it move off this 124. It's starting to get the volume that it needs. We'll see what happens on this one. CNSP, guys. Tesla in the green here for me. Just a second there, was up about $50 there. I'm looking to see if we take down the 266 back through the 267. I might just get out for a small loss, look to re-get in this. There's a 267. Let's see if it just rejects the move. A lot of chomping around. The CNSP now to 160 now. And it's the Qs chomping around, guys. After making a fast move, the Qs have slowed down. Okay, rejecting the 267 move there on Tesla. That's actually looking decent there. Now it starts to cut through. There you go. Now we're getting a little bit of some more cut down. There goes the action. Now let's see if it really kind of just gives you a big bar. All right, looking good here, guys. Up about 90 here. Moves back. I can add it. Just take some off, add it, take some off, add it. I'm thinking about doing that type of trade. But for right now, I'm just looking to see if we can get one more cut down towards the 265.50s here. It's the Qs. The Qs are hanging around for a second there. The slowdown on the Qs, man. 497.39 is just holding in there. All right, guys, if it comes back to my entry here, guys, I'll get out, but I'm just looking for the takedown. If it does happen here, then, hey, let it just kind of come down through it. Look for the Qs to break. Setting my stop right at the recent 1 minute high there of 267.30s. There I am, about $100 up there. For a second there, was up like about 100. Looking for this to crack here. This is going to be the big spot here. This 265, kind of 06 layer. If we can crack that, we can head down towards this kind of 263s. The Qs though, the Qs, man, look how the Qs are just slowing down, going pretty much nowhere on the sideways action. 1 minute and just keeps floating down. The only thing that is telling me that it's still bearish is that it's staying below the 9 EMA. So below this and below this light blue line, it's still bearish to me. There's Tesla getting into the 100. Now there's that 265 here. There's the cut through. Gonna go ahead and pay myself some in a second here, guys. Just got to pay myself some and then let this see if this comes back. Here's 265.40s. One more cut down towards the 265s. Come on. 265.50s, 40s. Looking to see if the Qs go red here on the 5-minute. Picking right off the Qs. All right, guys, being a little greedy here. Going to go ahead and take some profits there. Just took some profits there. Just saying, hey, Mitch, you're trying to get too much there. Take some profits off. Make sure you pay yourself back into the green, 108. Even though I've had a loss today, about $90 on sound. Hey, just keeping the battle up now. Now I can put break even and look to see if Tesla just drops. I'm putting break even on this, guys. 30 cents in the green, and just looking to see if it just wants to drop from here. If it drops, then I get a bigger gain, probably like another 100. And if it doesn't, I just get out break even and can look to get back into name. LCFY, how's that one doing? Back down to 7. How do you deal with chasing? I often get in $1 a share higher with tight risk. Well, chasing is something about just having some kind of rules for pullback entries and understanding that you can't always just market. Maybe doing limits can help with things like that, but that's just kind of me being picky there. You can see Tesla coming right back, guys. And so if I didn't take the profit there, what would happen? Well, I'd be right close to being break even again. So I'm not stressing it this time, because if it comes back and stops me out, well, I already took some gains. It doesn't always pull back. Yeah, Bullseye. So what I would say there is what I've been trying to do. You've seen a little bit of it here, Bullseye. So that's take like a starter and then looking to add the size on the pullback. So if I get the pullback, that's where I'm looking to size deep. But if I get the breakout, that's where it gets a little bit difficult. So you got to be able to like kind of size in, size out. Understanding that can really help. Here's the Qs making that next attempt to the downside. So this actually looks pretty decent right now. Let's see if Tesla wants to just go to the downside and break here. So you see the Qs trying to break down through the low here, and that's what I'm watching too. Hey, can the Qs break too? Let's go on the 5-minute here. You can see it slowing down here, but I'm looking for that expansion move. If it just ramps back, that's how you know it's coming back for you. Still chomping around here. Could cut down, could just hold in. So, hey, you know what you're seeing out there. Apple coming down fast today. We talked about it when we started seeing the down action. The stronger names could break to the downside. So Tesla was part of that. AMD was part of that too. What's another big name that's been making a fast move that could break? Things like that I'd be looking at. TSM, one of those examples, right? Has been making a big move up on the daily, now starting to break a little bit. CYN short, there you go. Get after it, boogie woogie. All right, Tesla coming back there. Q's trying to come back. So just to note that, right? The Q's could easily just come back and all of a sudden, boom, we're shaking all the downside action there. AI coming right back towards this 3067. Still in play today, guys. Still in play is AI. Just trying to hold the pullback from this action here, the 70, and trying to reload here. Tesla giving a little bit of that stop right back, guys, right back. So there you guys have it. It's right back up there. Doesn't mean that it's completely done, right? It could have just been coming back to get me and then now wants to kind of really do the flush down. So just keeping that in watch, right? You can see it's already back down towards 266. Just watching out there the action, guys, because it's difficult right now. The IWM is just keeps lifting though. So that means small cap names in that. Look how this is ripping. Even though the Qs are going down, it's time for the IWM's turn. So IWM is looking strong this morning. Like if I was on my Twitter right now, that's what I'd be talking, guys. I'd be talking about the IWM. You'll sound real smart this morning. We were talking about this yesterday. Future day trade up 419, still down 24 on the eval, but I give myself until the 19th to pass the account. Hey, future day trade, it's all good, man. And don't think that you need to make all that back in one day. Trust me, you don't need to make it all back in one day, my friend. You can also just kind of piece your way back, right? Then you can give yourself a shot for a bigger swing. But this Joby, man, this Joby is killing me, team. Killing me right now, guys. Killing me. Because This was one of my watches. And that just frustrates me, guys, because there's a reason why I was putting it on the playbook, because I could see the setup on the daily. It was a really nice setup. So I was looking to see what would happen with that one, man, but holy moly. Not a bad move there, guys. Take a look there on the playbook yesterday. What were we looking at? Show you guys right now, guys. The playbook yesterday. Not bad on that Joby outlook. Was it yesterday? Hold on. Let me see here. Was it on the first day here? I'm looking at the playbooks here. Guys, check it out, guys. You guys can be looking into this yourselves. So definitely check it out, guys. We're throwing up the playbook all the time, guys. So definitely take a look into that action. There's upgrades, downgrades I put out there. Putting out the playbook, guys. You guys can definitely check it out. Hey, it's going to be something definitely to watch. We'll see what happens in these plays today, the fray. But, man, Joby was one. I think it was on Monday that I put it out. But, boy, oh, boy, man, $6 now. Archer could get hot off of this. And with that being said, with one doing so well and the other one not getting the move just yet, I'm going to go ahead and take a tight trade with this, see if it can make the move or not here. And so that's Archer back to the upside. Doesn't look bad there, guys. It's one that I can maybe take a swing trade on just based on the daily chart. But, man, Joby. That's going to be a little frustrating one. It's up there to 6, man. I could have bought this at yesterday at like 520s. That's a 15% move overnight. Whew. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there. Q's still just chomping around, man. They're doing this to shake the retail traders, guys. When things just slow down like this just tells me look into the later in the day for maybe the potential big move. Nike. We'll see if Nike can come back. I see you getting after that one. AI still chomping around, guys. We could still make a move back. Tesla back down here, still just chomping around. And what is it? It's the Qs, man. The Qs aren't going anywhere. They're just literally chomping around. That's algorithmic volume just trying to stomp you out. Trying to get you to get shake so that it can make the big move. The shake is what they're trying to give us right now, guys. That's for sure. You can see when you go sideways like that, what happens a lot of the times. You start taking trades up and down when the market's not going anywhere. Market overall isn't going anywhere. The SPY's coming down a little bit now. So you can take a look at what's red there. Costco, big red today, guys. Nvidia, LRCX. So there's still a lot of bleeding around the market right now. Still a lot of bleeding out there. Man, SMCI went down to 865s. How's that AMD? There's AMD starting to crack. There's Tesla crack there. Q's just cracked there some more, guys. So I can take some scalps in Tesla now. As I start to cut down, I got to be careful because the truth is that this could always get a nice little bounce, right? So the hourly look is important here. As you're getting closer towards resistance, watch out for those bounces. This is that 265 bounce, but could come down to 261 on the next layer. The Q is trying to make another low here. 496. There it is, guys. Now we're starting to speed up a little bit closer towards 11 here, guys. And wouldn't you guys know it? It's near the time where I got to get out of here, man. Oh, man, I'm in the green today, but it's been a tough one, guys. It's been a tough one indeed. Now Mara's starting to come up. You just can't see Mara going higher here yet. I don't know, man. I think Mara could make that move, right? So Clean Spark is one that I was looking at to make the move up, right? That's actually recovered here. It's going to be more about what happens, I think, in MSTR than the overall market. MSTR is back down to the 137 there. If this could keep running with dimensions of the stock split, well, that could really kind of help those stocks get the lift, right? HUT was one I was looking at shorting yesterday, got cut out this morning, and it's going up also. So that's just to note that. Tesla, there's the crackdown, the 264 Might have not been able to hold for the big move as it came back and stopped me out at the 267, which was a break-even stop. It was like 266.85s. But now I'd be up, what, 2 points on this on 45 shares. That's a decent gain there. So just got to keep looking to see if we can keep seeing the leak in their market. The leak is there, guys. The SPY is coming down. The Qs are coming down. Tesla's starting to crack. CPI kind of topped the market today, and it was a positive outlook. And the big thing also is what Fed talk out there. Jerome Powell talking all he wants about cutting rates, and now the market starts taking a downturn. Well, that's just how it does it to you guys. The contrarian winning today, that's for sure. The Qs keeps going lower. Success tries to continue to the upside as you keep seeing the downside in the market there. Turn still looking good there. There's one stock that's actually doing decent there. CNSP, what a trap there, guys. Went up to the 155, back down to the 103s. ANVS right back to the 14s. So be careful out there, guys. Here's one that's ripping, guys, based off of kind of some news out there. AUR getting a nice little move there. So keep your eyes on this one. Aurora Innovations. This is kind of your LiDAR play, getting a push there today. We'll see if this one can keep pushing. Definitely a daily move. We'll see if it does a day 2 move or a pullback towards 310s. That's actually looking pretty decent there. Tesla now to 263, man. That's a little frustrating. It's definitely getting the flush right now. AMD down to the 180s too. That doesn't look good there as the Qs to 496. It's a tough day, man. That's for sure. Looking around to see what else is making a move. MLGO back down to the 468s. Here's Tesla on the flush down, man. Oh, that's so frustrating, team. You guys know I've been trying to flip this down. Still made gains, but this is one of those days where I just got to get the heck out of here, man, before I ruin it. It's been a decent day. Still made a good day, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the trading day. It's 11:01. Smash the like for a little bit of some extra time. Let's do a little recap and wrap the day up. All right, guys, you guys can see it here. This morning was a little bit of a shakeup with CNSP moving all around there and then finally making a nice trade in KZAIA that's back down towards the 112s. Actually got as high as 130. I think it was even a little bit higher. Let me take a look here. Yeah, it got up to a 150, guys. So if I would have kept that KZIA position, yeah, I'd be making like close to $2,000 on this. But look at that, guys. KZIA up there to the 150s. I was playing this in the pre-market. Look how it broke out and never came back to that spot. But hey, it wasn't really my type of play. The $1 plays, I don't play them too often. I usually try to play them right to the $1 spot. And that would have been a good look too. Now it's coming down and could easily shake right back below the $1 and could end up at 70 cents right back down there. So we'll see what happens on this KZIA. CNSP giving me one loss today. Nice little gain there on NEM, which came back to the 4620s from around the 4660 buy. So not a too bad move there, about 40 cents higher. Then took a stop there in sound back to 550s. Glad I took that out. If not, I would have got wrecked. And then Tesla giving me a little bit of a gain there on the short side of things, but stopping me out when it came back towards my entry here. Gave myself the shot there. It just got me out when it came back. And sometimes you can add those shares back and take a shot again off of Tesla, but didn't do it that time. Tesla's been wrecking me on the upside moves, so had to be a little bit careful there today. Not a bad day. Still in the green, 107, but nowhere near green as what I wanted, right? I'm looking for some bigger green, and that definitely isn't going to cut it. Cut the trade in Palantir on the swing trade side of things, all out of swing trades. Now I'd look at the short side of things to see what could I short maybe potentially towards the end of the day, but we'll see what happens. Like always, team, stay right here. Money Mitch is going to keep battling with you guys. There's a lot to take a look at in this market. There's always going to be battles, ups and downs. Check out how you guys can be shorting penny stocks, shorting any stock on a day like today. Of course, trade the pool is the way that you guys could be doing that, right? It's not just every stock, but hey, pretty much, man. I have yet to trade a stock even today that I've gone to search and it not be there. Let me know what you guys are taking a look at. Smash the like. I will see you guys back bright and early. Don't forget, the banks come in tomorrow. Big earnings reports could turn this market right back to the upside. We'll see what happens out there, team. It's good to see you guys in the chat. Jeff, Pepsi, nice reversal on that. We'll see what happens on Mara, Eric, Future Day Trade, Greg Scott, Bullseye, Boogie Woogie, and everybody in the chat. It's always good to see you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, trading with me. Let me know what you guys want to see more of or less of on this show, and I'll keep trying to get some more for us to keep trading. And don't forget, guys, in volatile markets, you got to give yourself room on a day-to-day where the SPY did this trick to the upside, right? I mean, if you didn't give yourself room or you bought that breakout to 563.50s, you're definitely scratching your head today. We'll see what happens, guys. Keep trading out there. Keep battling. I'll see you guys back in the morning.